firebug?
Yeah, why don't you fight like men with bombs and bullets?
Oh, shut up. Don't you know when you're well off, Bob?
I can't stand it! I can't stand it, I tell you!
Take it easy, Group. Don't let it get you down.
I can't help it. How can we have a decent crap game with all this stuff flying around?
Well, nice going, boys. I see you almost got this place looking shipshape.
What do they keep dropping these things for?
Yeah, don't they know we can't read?
They'll call, come and get.
Hey, wait a minute. You're supposed to wait till I call your name. Parker. Here. Well, that's the way you're supposed to do it. You wait till the guy calls your... Hey, Skip, want to try a piece of my wife's fruitcake?
Yeah, all right. Thanks, Christy. Boy, that's good. Hey, Food, you ought to get the recipe.
Yeah. Hey, here, Foods, try some. Oh, come on. Hey, want some fruitcake, Miss Parker?
Hey, fellas, you gotta hear this. She says, Dear Lester, I wish you wouldn't call me that. The Japanese souvenirs you sent caused a great deal of excitement, especially the flags. If you can send more of them, please do, as they are selling like hotcakes. Love, Mumsy.
Here, guys, get a load of this.
I remember. That's a girl.
Hey, fellas, you want to see a picture of my girl, Miyoshi?
We've seen that picture 100 times, Fuji. This is a brand new one.
Yeah, Fuji, take a look at it. Hey, what's wrong with him?
I'll tell you what's wrong with him. How'd you guys like to be in his shoes? Prisoner of war, away from your own people, no mail from home. Beginning to get him down.
Yeah, and every time we have mail call, it gets worse.
Wish there was something we could do, Skip.
Yeah, if there was only some way we could get a letter through to Miyoshi, she'd be sure and answer him.
Why don't we just go down to the corner and mail it? There's a box there marked local, out of town, enemy.
Hold it. Now, Tinker may have something there.
Thanks, Skip.
Now, just exactly where do you guys mail all your letters?
Well, it's a base post office.
Right. And that's exactly where the Nips mail theirs.
No kidding. Shouldn't we tell Captain Binghamton?
Look, just supposing that we have Fuji write a letter to Miyoshi, huh? And then supposing we make a little sneak visit over to some Japanese-held island, like Molokai, and we just drop it in their mailbox.
Pardon my insubordination, sir, but have you flipped?
All right.
You guys are afraid? Why...
Wait a minute. No one said we're afraid.
Well, I think someone should.
Wild idea, but what do you say, fellas? For Fuji?
Only one thing, Skip. Let's keep this on the QT. Because if this leaks out, they'll have us all up for a gang Section 8.
Well, okay, gang, let's go find him.
All right, I'll go.
All my love. Fuji. Here, Skipper-san. Will you read it to the boys?
Oh, well, now, this is too personal, Fuji.
You better stick neck out for me. I like you to know what it says.
Well, okay, but my Japanese is a little bit rusty. My dear Miyoshi, although I am treated very well here, at night, in the loneliness of my hut, I think only of you. War is not a nice thing. It keeps two people who love each other far apart. Oh, my darling Miyoshi, how I miss you.
think I'm allergic to something in here.
I think we read enough, Fuji.
Holy mackerel, Skip, it's Binghamton. He's just outside.
Beat it, Fuji. Come on, come on. Come on, boy.
Attention!
Isn't it amazing, Carpenter, how they can stand so straight and be so crooked? At ease. Good day, McHale.
Good day, sir. Is there something we can do for you, sir? Just name it.
Don't tempt me. McHale, I hate to admit this, but I need your help. Show him the leaflet, Carpenter.
Yes, sir.
Oh, is this one of those enemy leaflets, sir?
No, that's one that I wrote. I've decided to strike back at those sons of Fujiyama, and I want you to translate that into Japanese for me. I'm going to have it printed up, and then I'll have the Air Force boys drop it on the Japanese. What are you doing?
Oh, I salute you, sir. That's a great idea. Great idea.
Thank you. I'll knock it off. Let's get to work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now, wait. What is that?
What, sir?
Well, let me see your hand. What do you got there? What are you men doing? You men are all going to get 60 days in the break for playing hide and seek with your commanding officer. Where is it? What have you... Oh, I can play, too. Pass it on. What are you doing? Don't be handing me. What is that?
Well, it's one, Roger.
Not that. I brought that in. That other thing. What is that? McHale, what's going on?
How, well, you see, sir...
This is in Japanese.
well, yes, sir. We should... All right, men. He caught us. You see, sir, we had the same idea about striking back at the nip, sir. It's a propaganda leaflet that the boys and I wrote.
It is? I mean, it is. Of course it is. Why, he spent a lot of time on those little figures.
McHale, what does this so-called leaflet of yours say?
Oh, well, you wouldn't want to hear it, sir. It's yours is much better.
Read it.
Yes, sir. Hello out there in Warland.
I wrote that one. Read the other one.
Let this be a warning to you, sons of Nippon. The stars and stripes will sink the rising sun. So you might as well give up because there's no glory like old glory. And we have nothing to fear but fear itself. So through blood, sweat, and tears, we'll fight you on the beaches. We'll fight you in the cities. Be for victory and 3 cheers for the red, white, and blue. Hip, hip.
Ray?
Hey, sir, it's pretty bad, isn't it?
Carpenter,
Sir?
what did you think of it?
I'm not sure, sir.
I think it's great.
I think it's great.
Yes, I do. It shows a lot of initiative, McHale. In fact, it's better than mine. We'll use yours instead of mine. No, Butch, McHale. When you do something right, it ought to be acknowledged. Come on, Carpenter. We'll have copies of this made. McHale, you amaze me.
Gee, Skip, what are we gonna do now?
I don't know, but if anybody from headquarters gets a hold of that letter and can read that Japanese, it's sayonara, boys, in space.
Captain Binghamton?
Yeah, what is it, McHale?
Well, sir, there's no need to bring those leaflets to the Air Force, sir. We'll distribute them.
How? We're gonna pass them out on street corners?
Oh, well, no, sir. No, we just go to some Japanese held island in the dark of the night and tiptoe around, leave our little handbills, drive the nips batty. And best of all, you won't have to share the credit with the flyboys.
Will wonders never cease? McHale with 2 good ideas in one day. Won't have to share the credit, huh?
No, sir.
We'll try it. We'll try it. Why don't you come up with something once in a while?
Bye-bye, Captain. Bye.
Well, just think, Fuji, in about 2 weeks, you'll have a letter from Miyoshi. Skipper-san, you sure you want to go through with this?
Don't worry about a thing. Your letter's as good as mail, baby. And the only one who'll ever see those leaflets is Davy Jones.
Skip, Panther, 12 o'clock at Binghamton.
What's he want now? Go on, beat it, fool. Beat it.
What's all right?
Yeah, go on.
Now, McHale, I'm all ready. Let's get... what are you two apes gawking at? Didn't you ever see a fighting man before?
Coming with us, sir?
No, I'm dressed for trick or treat. Of course I'm going with you, McHale. I want to make sure that I get full credit for this brilliant idea of mine. Well, let's go. Shove off.
His idea?
Boy, what are we gonna do now? We can't dump those leaflets overboard.
Yeah, not unless we dump Binghamton with him.
Yeah, boy, with that helmet, he seems like a rock. You can't do that.
All right, man, let's move out.
That way is east, sir.
I know which way east.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Skip, I feel kind of bad distributing Fuji's love letter like this. It's so personal.
Well, try and ditch him if you can. If you can't, Fuji will understand. And Grove, no souvenir hunting.
Oh, but Skip, Mom said send more flags.
What are you doing?
Oh, don't forget, sir, they're a lot shorter than we are.
Good thinking, Grove.
That's their mailbox, all right.
Are you sure?
It's either that or they're voting.
Okay, Tink. Get it over to that mailbox. We'll cover you. Take it easy now.
これはやっぱり日本に行くからな。そうよ。これから出すんか。はい、ここから入るからね。はい。
ヘミ、これ何か？
何したんだ、バケターが落としたろ。入れるよ、もうね。さっぱり。はい。
How about that? That's the greatest double play in history, Chuck. Tinker to Tojo to Miyoshi. Come on, let's get it.
Fuji letters late. That's great, Fuji, huh? Oh, I don't know how to thank you all. You've made me very happy.
And Momsey's pretty tickled, too.
Aha!
Oh, sorry, Skip. I just couldn't resist it.
I'll resist you.
Hey, listen, Skip, we gotta decide who's gonna double for Fuji when we go back for that net mail call.
Well, that's all decided. I'm going.
Oh,
All right.
Now, what do you heroes got in mind?
Well, Skip, as second in command, I feel it's my responsibility.
To go?
No, to come up with an idea.
Why don't we draw straws? Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, okay. So we'll draw straws. Here. There we are. Now.
Short straw wins, huh, Skip?
Short straw wins. Short straw wins. There we go. Okay. There we are. Good. There you are, Chuck. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, now, guys, don't be nervous.
There's one for you. Easy now. One for you. Oh, no, not you. After all, you're prisoner of war. Remember? There you are, fellas. Ahead. Okay. All right, let's see who the lucky winner is now. Well, it looks like I got the short one, boys.
Oh, no, Skip. Mr. Parker's a shorter.
Hey, that's the first time I ever won anything.
All right, now, look, Chuck, I'm going to go anyway because I'm the only one who can speak Japanese here.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Skip. I won this fair and baby, and it's my square now. Square. Well, besides, Fuji can teach me all the Japanese I need to know. What do I have to say, Fuji?
When they call your name, you just say, 軍曹殿、手紙を受け取りに参りました。
Oh, that's simple. Good donuts. Taggy on your termites.
Oh, well, now that settles it. Look, I'm going on a mission.
No, I'll wait, Skip. I got plenty of time to learn it, and any nitwit could learn a simple thing like that in 2 weeks. Good donuts. Oh.
軍曹殿、手紙を受け取りに来ました。
See? He knows it. Good donut. Gunsadono. Torino. Torini. Kamish. Mish. Come on.
Oh, never get it.
It's no good, Chuck. You just don't sound like a Japanese soldier.
Well, at least he looks the part. It's a perfect fit. Lucky I had his size in stock.
Will you guys quit worrying? I'll practice on the boat. I want to get that letter. Neither rain nor sleet nor snow. shall stay this courier from his appointed rounds.
How about bullets?
Yeah, why'd you have to bring that up? You guys quit worrying. Gruber, come on, now, let's go. Oh,
Parker-san, maybe this is all too dangerous.
huh? Now, look, I drew the short straw, and I'm going. Now, will you quit worrying? Come on, you guys.
Tink, turn them over. Christie, stand by.
Good luck, Parker-san.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
Hey, Skip, condition red. Here comes Binghamton. Oh, for crying out loud. What's he want now? Come on, beat it, Foods, beat it. Come on, get aboard, fast.
What's all the excitement about? Just because Binghamton's coming,
Look at you. Come on, hurry up.
Captain. Well, McHale, today's the big day.
Yes, sir. Just getting ready to shove off, sir.
You sure you don't want me to go with you?
Well, it's like I explained to you, sir. We need as much room as possible for your prisoners.
Yeah, that's right. An extra prisoner could mean an extra strike. All right, let's get going.
Yes, sir. Sailor, let go forward there, will ya? All right, let go aft. Bye-bye, sir.
Good hunting, McHale. You know, there's only one thing about this whole operation that bothers me.
What's that, sir?
McHale.
Sir, he's being very cooperative.
Yeah, but McHale without an angle is like Betty Grable without her curves.
Sir, I'd hate that to happen to Miss Grable. She's one of my favorites. When I see her...
Knock it off. Let's go and have a drink to the success of the mission.
Oh, at the officers' club, sir?
No. McHale's hut. I mean, why pay retail when you can get it at the source? Good Lord. This place is a pigsty. I wonder where he keeps his private stock.
Oh, I wouldn't know, sir.
You wouldn't know, sir. Well, move some of these Japanese uniforms. Maybe you'll find it.
Yes, sir.
Japanese uniforms? What are Japanese uniforms doing here?
Oh, good heavens, sir. I wouldn't know about that.
You wouldn't know anything, would you? I think Betty Grable just got back in shape.
Sir?
I knew that McHale must be in cahoots with the Nips. He's the one that suggested going over to that island.
But, sir, that was to distribute the leaflets.
The leaflets that he wrote. Carpenter, we need a Japanese dictionary. We've got some translating to do. That isn't what McHale read to us, and he was lying.
Right, sir. I can't find all the words in the dictionary, sir, but look at this for yourself.
My darling, love, in my arms, adore you, love, I kiss your toes. That's obviously some kind of a code. You must be the biggest jerk in the Navy.
Oh, no, sir. I knew a couple of captains when I was going...
Shut up. Get me complete. I'm gonna have a surprise in store for Mikado McHale when he gets back. I kiss your toes. What a war.
Hey, that's it, Chuck. You remember what you're gonna say?
Yeah, I got it, Skip. Gona donuts, leg of Mary,
Chuck, there's still time to pull out if you want.
Don't worry about a thing, Skip. I'll make it. Oh, Skip. Dono. Egg mio to...
どうぞこのまんじゅうをね、はい、食べてください。これよこれよ、うまいのこれ。まずいないか。これよ、はいはい。なんかたまんか。三菱住み。ちなみに横浜の彼女から。藤原武雄。Hey, bingo! Miyoshi came through. That's Fuji's letter. Hey, we did it, Skip. We did it. 藤原武雄。藤原武雄。藤原武雄。Give me a rock. Give me a rock. 藤原武雄。藤原武雄。おっとい。藤原武雄。これ俺の彼女の写真やろ。ええやろ。
Guno doso take meal. Three Kamisha.
何したんや。気でも来るたんか。だけどな、お前の彼女の写真見せてくれやな。お前どないしたんやお前。恥ずかしいのか。お前の女の子の写真見せてくれよ。あ、そう。Love, really, yeah. Yankee! 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 Hey, man, all right, let's get out of here.
Hey, what about my wallet?
Come on, let's go.
I'll get your lines over.
Hey, Skip, look. Oh, now don't worry. You just keep out of sight. I'll handle this. Go on.
Hi, Captain. Well, sir, we're back.
Knock off the small talk, McHale. Where are the prisoners? Where?
Well, sir, we didn't get any prisoners, but I can explain.
How you can explain it at your court-martial? You're under arrest. Seize him.
Arrest? What for?
Espionage. I had that little letter of yours translated. How much are they paying you, you turncoat? That love letter was a code, right?
Oh, knock it off, Captain. You don't understand.
Maybe the man from Comfleet will. He's due here. Oh, Captain Martin. Guard him.
Captain Binghamton, sir, this is Captain Martin of Comfleet Intelligence.
I know who he is. Been waiting for you, Captain.
Well, Captain, that leaflet caused quite a stir at headquarters.
I figured it would.
The Admiral wants the man responsible for it.
I've got him right here for you, sir. He's Commander Quentin McHale, and he's all yours.
McHale?
I do, sir.
Congratulations.
Congratulations?
Yeah? Congratulations.
Certainly. You gave the psychological warfare boys a lesson. Don't appeal to the mind, appeal to the heart. 20 nips have already surrendered carrying that love letter of yours.
They did, 20. It was a love letter.
I'd like to talk to you about some more of your ideas, McHale. You've become quite a hero up at Comfleet.
Oh, well, thank you very much, sir. We're just trying to do our part.
20.
Why don't you lose some of that weight?
All right. I got one for Bell.
Here.
Christopher.
Yes, sir.
Edward. Beautiful. Ensign Charles Parker. Hey, is there a Takeo Fujiwara here? Go on, what does it say, Pooch?
Oh, this is terrible. She went and got married.
How do you like that? He went and got a dear Fuji letter.
Hey, she sent me another picture.
Boy, after all we went through, and he's more unhappy than ever.
Oh, no. I'm too lucky to be unhappy.
Lucky?
Look how fat a girl can get in 2 years.
Look at this, fellas.
Sayonara, Hey, Basil, let me see that.
On Terratupa myself. I've had my requisition in for a portable printing press like this for over 3 months.
Really? Well, it's a very relaxing hobby.
You know, I was wondering, Admiral, inasmuch as you will be out of the office for a few days on an inspection tour, and nobody will be using the press anyway, if perhaps I could,
Out of the question, Binghamton. I wouldn't part with this press if Admiral Nimitz asked for it.
Oh, I'm afraid you'd have to, sir. You see, Admiral Nimitz outranks you by almost 2 stripes.
Well, we'll be running along, Admiral. You coming, Captain?
Wait a minute, McHale. I take one last little look here. Oh, my. That certainly is a beauty, isn't it, Admiral? This is the roller here.
Uh-huh.
And this is your type fount down here.
Yeah, that's
Admiral?
right.
Yeah. This must be, this must be the ink injector here.
Oh, no, sir. This is the ink injector. You knew that was the ink injector, didn't you? Oh.
Got a blotter?
Bye, Admiral. Bye.
You call yourself a supply officer. According to these shipping manifests that I hold in my hand, my printing press arrived in Terratupa 3 days ago. Now, what I want to know...
Captain Binghamton, sir, you'll never guess what, sir.
Shut your blabber mouth. I'm trying to locate my printing press.
Well, that's just it, sir. You don't have to. I found it in the warehouse, and I brought it right over here, sir. It's right outside the door.
I don't care where it is. I'm telling you. Oh, it's me outside the door? Well, don't just stand there. Bring.
Yes, sir.
He's bringing now. As for you, you put yourself on report.
Here it is, sir.
Oh, be careful, you nitwit. Don't break it. Don't you see it says fragile on there?
Sorry, sir. I didn't take the time to read what it says. Does it say anything else?
Yes, it says another end up is what else it says.
Yes, sir.
I tell you, Carpenter, this is a red letter day for Terratupa. It's not every base has its own private printing nurse like the Admiral. It's not every officer that has an empty crate. What is it? What is that?
Sir, it couldn't just walk off by itself. It must have been stolen, sir.
Well, give the lieutenant an oak-leaf cluster. Of course it's been stolen. What I want to know is what numbskull in his right mind would steal a printing press? Who?
Hello, sing, snip, serve. Here you go, mate. That's 20 bucks. Way to go. I think the rest of your credit's good. Okay, mate. Who's next? Be a genuine war hero. Sink a destroyer for only 10 bucks. Cruisers 25. And don't forget the special on capturing nip prisoners. 3 for $5.
Hey, sir! Stash the press. Here comes the skipper.
I knew it was too good to be true. Okay, man. That's all for today. Next edition, same time tomorrow. Scat. Stuff on.
Hi, Skip.
Howdy.
Well, what's going on, boys?
Just get a little sun.
You wouldn't be trying to put anything over on your old Uncle Dudley now, would you? What kind of a thing you got going here, boys?
That's eucalyptus.
Oh, really? Torpedo and Schultz wins Distinguished Flying Cross?
Hey, that's pretty good, especially for a gun in submarine service.
All right, come on, out with it, boys. Where did you South Sea schlockmeisters get a printing press? And I want the truth.
Well, you might say we sort of borrowed it. From Captain Binghamton?
Of all the lame-brain stunts, don't you feather merchants realize that Binghamton won't take this lying down? He's been waiting for over a year to get this press. This press is gonna go back right now. Let's go.
Have a heart, Skip.
Don't pull on your commanding officer.
Skip, but we had a whole stack of back orders that already been paid for.
Please, Skip. Let Tink stay behind and run off the back orders. And as soon as it gets dark, we'll sneak back to press. We promise.
Please?
Pretty please?
Well, all right, you 8 balls, but this is the last time.
He's a beautiful human being.
True.
Get your hands off.
But I was just...
Mouth shut. The only chance is to get McHale and his press grabbers by surprise. Move out.
That's a beautiful sight, isn't it? One of McHale's deadbeats printing his own obituary.
All right, stop the presses. You're under arrest.
Don't shoot! I surrender!
I caught you red-handed, didn't I? You're up to your grimy little elbows in it, aren't you? Where'd you get the printing press? Where?
Printing press?
Yes, the printing press.
Oh, you mean that press?
That was.
Oh, I found it on the beach this morning, sir.
Yeah, I'll bet it's floated up there on a lily pad, huh? All right, Horace Greeley, out with it. What's your story?
I'm innocent, sir. I never saw that machine before in my life.
You save that for the brig. All right, SP, you take this ink-stained wretch away and send out a searching party for the others.
What others? There ain't anybody here but me!
I think he was telling the truth, sir. There isn't anyone else in sight, and the 73 is gone.
Well, no matter, Carpenter. From now on, we divide and conquer, huh? We'll pick them off one at a time. And just take my little printing press here, put the first nail in McHale's coffin.
Oh, that's a brilliant strategy, sir. Sir, is there anything I can do to help?
Yes, go change your blouse or a disgrace.
Hi, Captain.
Oh, McHale, well, you're early. I didn't expect you for another, 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah, well, I knew you'd be in a hurry to talk this over, sir, so we came right over. Yes, sir. Now, as Bell's commanding officer, I want you to know that I'll be more than willing to hand him all the punishment he deserves. Yes, sir.
Very generous of you, McHale. What did you have in mind?
Let's see now. Well, there's confinement to quarters and, extra duty. And, a cut in his beer ration. Yes, sir.
And we'll put him to bed without his supper for 90 days.
You'll send him to bed without his supper. I'm going to kill him one of these days, McHale. No deal. I've waited too long to get my hands on one of your delinquents.
Oh, no, wait a minute, sir. Look, I know you and I don't always see eye to eye, but that's no reason to take it out on Tinker.
Oh, now, calm down, McHale. Ease off. I mean, do I look like the sort of a man that would railroad a poor innocent sailor? Don't answer that, Parker. Now, gentlemen, I want to be fair about this, and Machinist Bell is going to have a chance to get his say in tomorrow.
Oh.
The court-martial will be at 0900 hours.
Court-martial? For such a little thing? Well, Captain, you're going way overboard.
Little thing. It's grand larceny, that's what it is. Ought to be good for about 20 years. Don't get yourself excited, McHale. Everything is going to be fair and square. Won't it, Carpenter?
Oh, yes. We are going strictly by the book. Captain Binghamton is president of the court, and I am the trial counsel.
No stones unturned, Captain?
Well, except for my printing press, which is Exhibit A, a few eyewitnesses, a couple of officers on the court-martial board that owe me a couple of months' back pay, I would say that I've got a pretty tight case. Of course, a lot will depend on Machinist Bell's defense counsel, won't it, Mr. Parker?
Mr. Parker? You mean Mr. Parker's going to have to defend Tinker? But you can't do this, sir.
Oh, can't I? You check your regulations. You check your congressman. It's all within my jurisdiction as president of the court.
Yeah, but, sir, I mean, Your Honor. I mean, Captain, Your Honor, sir, but I don't know anything about law. I mean, I object.
I object. You can't object. You're just an ensign. Now get out of here, both of you, before I charge you with loitering.
Skip, how'd you make out, huh?
Skip, did you get Admiral Rogers on the scramble phone?
No dice, boys. The Admiral's out of his office. He's out on an inspection tour.
Just our luck. Our only chance to save Tinker.
No, wouldn't have done any good anyway. Binghamton's got enough on him to send him up for 20 years.
Not if I could get a hold of Admiral Rogers. If he knew about this court-martial, I bet you Tinker could get off with less than 20 days.
Hey, Skip!
Hiya, Counselor. How's it going?
Here, I got it, Skip. I found a precedent case that proves that Binghamton can't send Tinker up for 20 years.
Hey, let's
Let's have it.
Case United States versus Seaman First Class James McGinnis, Portsmouth, 1837. Naval Board of Inquiry disallowed defense's plea to sentence Seaman McGinnis to 20 years at hard labor, and they hanged him. They hanged him. That's not as good as 20 years. I'll bone up.
All right, turn up, board now. It's 15 minutes before the court-martial starts. Hey, Willie! Come up here. You contact Comfleet yet?
Just signed off, Skip. Admiral Rogers still ain't back, but they said they'd give me a message the minute he does show up.
Well, Chuck, I guess it's up to you. We gotta stall that court-martial until we can get a hold of Admiral Rogers.
Good luck, Mr. Parker.
We'll be rooting for you.
So long, Skip.
You mean so long, Tinker?
Relax. Maybe the Admiral will come through just like the Skip says.
Admiral Schmadmiral. I wouldn't make book on Tinker's chances if we wait for him.
Well, now, you got a better idea?
It so happens I already have. It's 1,000 to 1 shot, but I figure we gotta settle for any kind of odds we can get.
Well, come on, Group. Let's hear it.
Let's hear it.
Come on.
All right. Remember that Jimmy Cagney movie we saw last week?
You mean the one where the mob switched murder weapons and the case was tossed out of court?
Right. Now, who says we can't do the same thing?
What are you talking about? First of all, we ain't got no murder, and then we ain't got no weapon.
Think, Thimblebrain. Think. The only thing Binghamton's got to make his case stick is that printing press, Exhibit A.
Oh, well, sure. Now, where are we going to find another press just like Binghamton's?
It just so happens Admiral Rogers has one right in his office. Gents, this is a time for greatness. We either got to think big or let Tinker take the rap for us. Now, what do you say?
I say it's a 2-hour trip each way, so let's get this floating bathtub cracking!
Let's go!
Cast off all lines! Christy, take the wheel! Willie, get down there, fire up those engines! Comfleet, here we come! At last, my own command!
Jason!
That should only take about 5 minutes, Elroy. I'll get the champagne chilling. Good morning, Matthias. Good morning, Kramer. Lovely day for court-martial.
Now remember, Chuck, you gotta stall till we hear from the Admiral.
All right, order in the court. The court-martial will come to order.
I object.
Object to what? We haven't started yet. Oh, well,
Well, as a counsel for the defense, I move that this trial be postponed.
Postpone the trial? What are you, till when? When?
Well, how about Easter? You see, the defendant's mother's a school teacher, and she can't fly here till vacation time.
Vacation time? You tell her to save it and visit her son on the rock pile. Now sit down and shut up. We're ready for you now, Elroy. Get a load of Elroy.
I can't stand him.
This court is convened by Captain Wallace B. Binghamton, Commander, United States Naval Base, Taratupa, in the case of the United States versus Bell, Harrison J., machinist mate first class, charged with the theft of printing press, serial number A777. Furthermore, it is additionally charged
Don't overplay your part, Lieutenant. Just call your first witness. We're going to call our first witness now.
Will Captain Wallace Binghamton take the stand, please?
Oh, that's me. Excuse me.
Sir, would you state your name, rank, and serial number, please?
Yes, I would. I am Wallace B. Binghamton. I am a captain in the United States Naval Reserve, and let's not waste everybody's time. Let's just...
I object. Well, the witness only gave his middle initial, and we're entitled to know his full name.
You two-bit Perry Mason, you.
I beg pardon, sir, but counsel for the defense has the right to question, sir.
Keep out of this, McHale. The B stands for Burton. You just stop there or I'll clear the courtroom. You stand there like a ninny, you ninny. Ask me a question.
Yes, sir. Sir, would you please tell the board exactly what you saw on the afternoon of January the 11th?
Yes, I would. I saw that man using my printing press, which he obviously stole, and I say that makes him guilty, right?
Wrong! Captain, according to regulations, you can't sentence a man until defense has had its chance to present its side of the case, sir.
Absolutely. Sir, Your Honor, Captain, Your Honor, sir. You see, according to Article 11, subparagraph 21, it states here...
All right.
Yes, sir. No more questions. Your witness.
Now then, Captain Binghamton, where were you on the night of June 16th?
June 16th? This is the middle of January. What's that got to do with anything, you numbskull?
He objects, Your Honor. You can't call him a numbskull.
I'll call him anything I want to call him. And one more outburst from you, McHale, I'll have you up for contempt. Now, you get on with it, you defense counsel. You.
Now then, Captain Binghamton, you say you saw the accused with your printing press. But can a man with your eyesight be absolutely positive of what he sees?
Of course I'm positive. Where are my glasses? What happened to my glasses? What did you... Give me my glasses, you pickpocket!
Sure, it's me, Elrod.
Don't just stand there sputtering. Find my glasses. I don't have to put up with this sort of... Attention, everybody! Order in court.
Is that what you're looking for, sir?
McHale, are we the only ones here?
We're not quite.
Maintenance crew to pick up the admiral's printing press. All right, men, step lively and grab it. Up to you, up to you.
What's wrong with the press?
Oh, time for the 10,000-word check. I've got to rotate the rollers, give her lube jobs, change the ink plugs. Take care of yourself. I like a man that's alert.
Now then, Machinist Bell, would you tell the court something about your poor, miserable, underprivileged childhood?
Oh, it was awful, sir. My father had no job. My mother had no food to cook, which was okay because we couldn't afford matches to light the fire. Then came the Depression.
Can I borrow your hanky, sir?
No! This is a court-martial, isn't this soap opera? I've heard enough from the accused. Enough, dismissed.
Well, sir,
You stand back, Ensign. You touch my glasses again, I'll clobber you a good lick. You get this soft sister out of here.
Yeah, come on, Sobby.
Will the counsel for the defense call the next witness, or shall we just get on with the sentencing?
Oh, no. We'll call a witness, sir. Mr. Parker requests permission to call Lieutenant Commander Quentin McHale.
Refused.
I object.
All right, just don't pay any attention to anything he says. He's a bigger thief than the other thief.
Well, I'd watch my language if I were you, sir. Why, that statement could be construed as slander.
I object. What are you objecting about? I was the man who was insulted. I've got a good mind to see my lawyer.
Hey, that's a good idea, Skip. You ought to get... Hey, that's me. Look, Skip, it's an open and shut case. I can get you $100,000.
This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard of in my life.
Well, how about 50,000?
Order! All right, we'll settle out of court for $25,000.
$25,000 do I hear 25,500? Go to your seat.
And I've always found Machinist Mate Bell to be not only loyal and honest, but a dedicated and devoted fighting man. But also...
This is sickening. You're dismissed, McHale. I'll see that your Boy Scout gets a merit badge right after we're through sentencing him. Not dismissed. Let's vote. I say he's guilty.
Chuck, we still need time. Call Lieutenant Marshall.
Who's Lieutenant Marshall?
Just call Lieutenant Marshall.
Guess what? We're going to call Lieutenant Marshall. Lieutenant Marshall!
Get on with it. Introduce your witness.
Lieutenant Marshall, this is Wally Binghamton. Wally, I'd like you to meet Lieutenant Marshall.
I could just scream.
Are you sure this thing's gonna work, Gruber?
It's got to. How else can we clear the courtroom to make the switch? Verge, are you ready?
All set.
Beautiful. All right, men, get ready for battle. Willie, you make with the kamikazes. Christy, grind out that siren. Hap, hit that 50. Okay, go!
Air raid! Hit the shelter!
sir, request permission to recess until after the war.
Hey, fellas. Hey, that's funny. I don't see any plane.
What? You can't see him? You need glasses. Hey, see me at sick bay in the morning. Let's go, Bert.
Let's get the patient out of here.
Right, Doctor.
Hey, where you been? Out knocking a few holes in the captain's airtight alibi. What?
Order! Order in the...
Be seated, gentlemen. Excuse the interruption, Captain, but after certain urgent communications, I understand that there may be a grave miscarriage of justice going on here.
A miscarriage of justice? Oh, no, sir. I'm just court-martialing a common thief. But one look at the evidence, you'll see I'm right, sir.
Permission to address the court, sir? I think I can explain all this, Admiral. You see, Captain Binghamton here is under the mistaken belief that machinist mate Bell stole his printing press, when actually it isn't his at all.
I object. What do you mean it isn't mine? You're in contempt. I don't know my own property when I see it, shouldn't I?
Are you sure, Captain? Beyond any shadow of a doubt?
Well, of course I'm sure. There isn't a chance in the world that this isn't my property. You can see for yourself. It's all here in black and white property of Captain...
You were saying, Captain?
I am taking the property
Why, this is my machine. Release the prisoner. Well, Binghamton, if you ask me, we have the wrong thief on trial.
I'm surprised at you, Captain.
I'm a little shook up myself.
You've got to come up with some answers fast, or the next court-martial you hold will be your own.
Don't you worry about a thing, sir. If we come up with the right kind of retainer, why, I'm sure Mr. Parker will be glad to handle your case, sir.
All right, Captain. I think we can squeeze it in.
Good afternoon, Captain. Captain, I've got a present for you. It's something Tinkerbell found on the beach this morning.
I'm always wary of sneaks bearing gifts. What is it?
Come on, Captain. Wait a minute. Here. Come on in, boys. Bring it right in here. Where do you see this thing? Huh?
Property of Captain Binghamton. That's my printing press. I've got you red-handed right now. You're under arrest.
Oh, well, no, you can't, sir. You see, you have no grounds. Tinker's already been acquitted. Besides, you can't try a man twice for the same crime.
Out of here, all of you. Get out of here.
Oh, but Captain.
Out! Plain, you idiot. The woman.
Oh, the woman. Yes, sir. Well, she's about your height, sir.
Oh, big woman.
Blonde hair, blue eyes, and very attractive, sir. Captain. Her name's Kate O'Hara.
Kate O'Hara.
Oh, I'll take you home again, Kathleen.
Sir, but I think there's one thing you should know.
Oh, never mind what you think. Now, where should I be finding this fair Colleen?
Well, sir, she's right outside the door. She's right outside the door, sir.
Does she know? Well, faith and begorra. I'll just be fetching her myself.
Oh, good luck, sir.
Come on, little Joe! Hiya, honey. Pull up your wallet and join the
Yes, I see. Well, thank you very much, Lieutenant. That was your pilot, Miss O'Hara.
Oh, loosen up and call me Kate. Kalani Kate.
Kalani Kate. Now, you listen to me, Miss O'Hara. He informs me that you're being evacuated to Australia by urgent order of the MPs on Bora Bora.
Oh, a bunch of old fuddies. You see, I had this little cafe, Kalani Kate's, the friendliest saloon on the island.
Yes, it was so friendly, they had to have it burnt to the ground. Now, you listen to me. I intend to see that you behave yourself while you're here and stop flicking ashes on my desk.
Okay, honey.
And don't call me honey. I'm going to assign you to the nurses' area while you are here. They will supply whatever companionship you might feel you need.
You got male nurses?
You are to have nothing, repeat, nothing to do with the men on this base.
Okay, all right.
And furthermore, I expect
Beep Jack in a jiff, honey.
Miss O'Hara.
McHale, baby!
Kalani Kate! Hey!
Sir, they seem to be old friends.
Yes, they probably served time together. Follow me.
Hey, you guys, I want you to meet an old pal of mine, Kalani Kate.
Hi,
Kate. Hi.
Oh, say, Quincy, old sea dog, it sure is good to see you.
Yeah, how about that?
Miss O'Hara.
What do you want, honey?
Don't call me honey.
Oh, whatever you want, sugar.
Lieutenant Carpenter will escort you to the nurses' area. The rest of this base is off limits.
Off limits? What did I do?
Oh, now, Captain, aren't you going a little bit overboard?
Yeah, after all, just because she called you honey.
Shut up. Carpenter, take that away.
Yes. Oh, Quinn.
Now, he calls the shots around here.
Well, that's what I like to give him, a good shot.
Please.
Yeah, you won't be seeing him. Hell, you keep away from her, and that's an order. I'm running a naval base here, not a friendship club.
Say that again.
Aye, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Bye, sir.
Fink.
All right, none of that, Tinker. After all, he's still an officer.
Okay. Sir Fink.
Well, that's more like it.
Never mind, Skip. You'll figure out some way to see her again.
No. For once, Binghamton did me a good turn.
Oh, no, Skip, you can't pass up on a chick like that. It's un-American.
Hold it. Believe me, Kate's a great gal, but she just spells trouble, boys.
Such trouble we should all have.
All right, belay that, Willie. If Skipper wants to be out of his mind, that's his privilege. Sorry, Skip. Gotta take command sometimes.
All right, Chuck, you come on along with me, and the rest of you guys go over and draw your supplies, and we'll meet you back at the boat. Come on, let's go.
The skipper's been out here too long.
Yeah, passing up on a chick like that.
He's gone island happy.
Don't worry, we'll straighten him out. Now, here's what we do. First, we gotta get the skipper out of the way.
Well, no, what you gotta do is always watch those shoals that are...
Hi, baby. I'm here. Oh, you're a real doll. Sending the boys for me, Quint. That was a beautiful heist.
You mean my guys cooked all this up?
Now, wait a minute. You being here is a direct violation of Captain Binghamton's orders.
Fancy that, Sonny. Well, see you around.
Well, now, wait a minute. See here, I'm an ensign in the United States Navy.
It's been nice seeing you. Anchor's away.
Guess I'll wait outside, Skip.
What a spread, baby, and all for me. Oh, Quint, I could hug you for this.
Now, Kate, look, I had nothing to do with this.
Oh, now, Quint, you can't blame an old sweetie for being sentimental.
Oh, no, of course not. Now, give me back my wallet.
Just want to see if you still had my picture in it.
Plus, a few of some old presidents, huh? Yeah. You know, you're a whole lot faster than when I first met you.
Well, hello.
Hello, Missy.
Well, now, take off there.
Hello, Missy?
He's my Filipino houseboy, named Rodrigo.
He don't sound like a Rodrigo.
Champagne? Champagne?
How about that?
Comes with a blue plate special.
Get out of here, you miserable gypsies!
You're romantic, huh, Skip?
Get out!
Now, that was darn sweet.
Oh, yeah, they're just full of bright ideas.
Oh, your magic spell is everywhere. Oh, I knew you well and found you fair.
What in the Sam Hill?
You left me and I laughed at fate.
Any minute now we'll get the Rockettes.
Quint?
Yeah?
Quint, you know, you're a great guy. I mean, a really great guy. And, well, I was just wondering.
If you could put the bite on me. No thanks.
But, Quint, all I want is a measly $500.
Hey, condition red. Condition red, fire in the paint locker.
Fire in the what?
In the paint locker.
Is it the nips?
No, it's worse than that. It's old lead bottom.
What'd you say, Ensign?
Sorry, sir. I was just telling the skip we ought to paint the boat. It sure looked great with a red bottom.
Yeah. I'll red bottom you in a minute. Get out of here.
Yeah, well, no sense me hanging around.
McHale is operating again.
Captain, would you like a little bubbly, sir?
Grab a seat, honey.
I'm not going to grab anything, and don't you call me honey. I really got you this time, McHale, disobeying a direct order. And as for you, Miss O'Hara...
Now, ease off there, Captain. It is nothing so terrible. After all, Kate and I are old friends, and we're just having a bit of a reunion dinner.
Should old acquaintance be forgot?
Now, McHale, you know that I am not a harsh man.
Oh, I know that, sir. Yes, sir.
So this little reunion is only going to cost you a month's pay, and you're going to be under armed guard.
A month's pay?
Armed guard?
There seems to be an echo in here. Come on, you heard me. Out, 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 out.
Cheers, Captain.
Sir, oh, watch where you're going. You got one hole in your head. You want to try for two?
Oh, no, sir. One's fine enough. Oh, sir. This is from Admiral Rogers, sir, at Confleet, for your immediate attention.
All right. Read it to me. Read it.
It's a new directive, sir, regarding rotation. Personnel with over 24 months of combat duty are to be shipped home.
All right. Get out of my way.
Yes,
Get out of my way. 24 months. 24 months, and we'll ship... How many months has McHale been here?
25 months? But, sir, the...
No, but, sir, me. He's not cutting his travel orders.
But, sir, the directive specifies...
Oh, Wally. This is your lucky day, boy. I'm finally free of McHale. I'm finally free. Life is beautiful. Life is gay. Carpenter, we're standstill. Oh, this is wonderful.
Sir, please, you're not as free as you think you are.
Why?
The directive clearly specifies that only married men are eligible.
Married men. That's better than ever. Don't you see what... Married man?
Married.
And McHale? He's a bachelor.
Yes, sir.
Oh, that dirty slacker.
But, sir, it was a very good thought.
Oh, the foul luck, Carpenter, just when I came so close. Oh, why couldn't McHale be stuck with a wife like the rest of us?
What respectable woman would have him, sir?
You're right. She'd have to be it.
You were saying, sir?
I should marry McHale?
Why not? You're made for each other. You said you're old sweethearts. I heard you say that. You said that.
Oh, sure, we had a few laughs together. But, what's come over you since last night?
Well, I admit I acted badly.
Like a solid gold louse. Come clean. What's in this for you?
Miss O'Hara, why don't you concentrate on what is in this for you?
For instance?
For instance, like $370 a month?
$370?
That's from your Uncle Sam. It's your monthly allotment check as McHale's wife.
Yeah, but I'm a saloon keeper. Who needs a husband around?
Well, who said anything about him being around? Don't you see? That's just it. You're going to be safe and sound in your own little saloon in Australia. He's going to be here. All you're marrying is a monthly allotment check for $370.
You know, you're right. Quint and I were made for each other.
And I was telling her all the time.
Welcome home, baby.
Kate.
Miss O'Hara, you're back.
It's been nice seeing you again.
Yeah, but I'm going to be outside again, Skip.
Sit down, honey. Relax. You must have had a hard day at the war.
Huh?
Don't you realize, honey? It was fate that dropped me on this base.
It was engine trouble.
Let's face it, Quint. You're my man.
You mean your pigeon?
All I want out of life is to be Mrs. Quint McHale.
Oh, you should live so long.
You're gonna marry me.
Come on now.
Keep us up.
Refreshments? No. Shove off.
It's all right. Me and Rodrigo, we're great pals.
Oh? Oh, that's swell, swell.
Oh, boy, if old Binghamton ever found out about him.
Huh? Oh, yeah, yeah.
Like I was saying, Quint, you're gonna marry me or else. Rodrigo.
Hey, we'll put him in a prison camp.
I'll hate myself as I do it, but I'll do it.
Yeah, you would.
Oh, Quint, you've made me the happiest girl in the whole world. Well, how do I look, honey?
Just lovely, Miss O'Hara.
Oh, how about that? Me in a wedding dress made of old parachutes. The boys in the back room should see me now.
Oh, we're all so excited. Commander McHale's a great catch.
Well, it wasn't easy.
Imagine, you'll be able to fly home together.
Huh?
Didn't you know? Once he's married, the commander's eligible for rotation.
Rotation?
He'll be shipped back to the States, and you can settle down together.
You mean I'm gonna have to live with a big baboon?
What?
Me? Keep house? Scrubbing floors, waltzing with a vacuum cleaner.
Beg pardon?
Nothing, that 4-eyed, 4-striped rat. Get me out of this! Forget it, Captain. The wedding's off. Unless, you two are interested.
Get your hands off me. What's the matter? What do you mean the wedding is off? What?
A little birdie told me about that rotation gimmick. No dice.
Well, you can't back out now.
So sue me for breach of promise.
Oh, what about the allotment check?
You pulled a fast one on me. You said McHale didn't come with it. I want a saloon, not a husband.
Miss O'Hara, I am the commanding officer of this base, and as the commanding officer, I order you to marry McHale.
Order me? I'm a civilian.
Yes, you're a civilian. A civilian with quite a juicy record in the islands. Operating an illegal establishment, passing bad checks, malicious mischief, rolling sailors.
Listen, nobody's perfect.
You marry McHale, or I'll have you turned over to the police in Australia along with this. So you take your pick, Miss O'Hara. McHale or jail?
You'd pull a dirty trick like that just to ship him out?
President Roosevelt has his war aims, and I have mine. Honey.
Don't call me honey.
Sir, no visitors allowed.
Not even the bridegroom?
Sorry, sir. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, thanks.
Friend of the groom.
Come in. Quit, baby.
Well, boy, you're sure playing it up to the hilt.
Yeah, I sure am. Listen, I want to talk
Wait a
to
minute,
you.
wait a minute. Hold it, Kate. Look, there's $500 in here, and it's all yours if you turn me loose. Huh?
I'd grab it in a second, honey, but Binghamton's got us boxed in.
Binghamton?
Yeah, the Navy's got some new rule. If you get hitched, they can ship you home.
Ship me home? Wait a minute. You mean to tell me he's the one behind this whole wedding bit?
Father of the bride. Oh, don't get sore, baby. I thought all I was marrying was an allotment check.
Knock it off, will you? Before you turn my head with your compliments.
Oh, Quinn, I know we're great buddies, but can you picture us slurping punch with a PTA?
Hey, they can't do this to you, Skip. You gotta call the whole thing off.
You can't. He's got a hold of my record. He'll throw me in jail.
I gotta dope a way out.
And fast. They've moved the wedding up till 6 o'clock tonight.
What?
Skip, you gotta do something.
I gotta do something, yeah. Do something. Do something. Wait a minute, I got it. There can't be a wedding without the bride, right? So, we sneak Kate aboard the 73, and then we find a reason to put out to sea like a submarine alert. And then we just drop her off in New Caledonia.
New Caledonia, that's French territory. Binghamton can't touch her there.
That's a wild idea. But how do you get me past those Cossacks outside?
Cossacks. Oh, wait a minute. They saw Tinker come in with me, and they'll see Tinker leave.
Hey, look at me. I joined the Navy.
Yeah, we're just enough to spare, too. Come on, let's go.
Hey, Skip, what happens to me? Now, look. Binghamton may come snooping, so you stole him, huh?
But, Skip, I can't stop.
No, it's like the fella said. 'Tis a far, far better thing you do than you've ever done before. Bye-bye.
Is that what the fella said?
Oh, no. Here comes Mary and Sam. Duck.
Hi, Captain. Salute when you see an officer. That grease off your face, you're a disgrace to the Navy.
Yeah, get down the ball, Bell.
Filthy fellow. Well, tonight's the night, huh, McHale? 1,800 hours, the chaplain turns you into an honest man.
Yes, Kate just told me.
Kate? Oh, yeah, isn't that bad luck to see the bride before the ceremony?
Oh, well, now, that remains to be seen, sir. Well, we'll see you at the altar, sir. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Bye, sir. Come on, Tinker, let's go.
How'd you make out, Skip? Did you take the toe wedding off?
All right. Stow the gab. Chuck, wind him up. Let go fore and aft.
Hey, Tink, you hiding something?
Just me. Hi, boys.
Hey, it's Kalani K. Where's Tink? Hey, what's going on?
Come on, Chuck. Will you wind her up? Move. We're eloping to New Caledonia before the wedding.
Hey, Skip, she won't start.
Oh, come on. Let me try.
Hey, look, Skip. Here comes the bride.
Hey, wait for me!
Isn't she lovely?
Hiya, honey! I need to say knock it off!
Binghamton's on his way down here, Skip.
Oh, no.
I heard him tell it to the MP, so I took it on the lam. Out the window.
Oh, look, Tinker. Our engines are stalled. Get down there and fix them fast, will you? Go ahead. And don't dirty that dress.
All right.
The rest of you guys get ready to move out in a hurry.
Yeah, all right, you heard it, Skipper. Let's move. Come on, sailor. Let's move. Sorry, sailor. Ma'am. Hey, Skip, it's too late. Look.
Get down below. Come on, the rest of you guys act normal. Look sloppy.
Hi, Captain. Hi, sir. McHale, where do you think you're going?
Going? We're just going to go back to my own island, sir. Yes, sir. I'll pick up my dress white, sir. Well, after all, it isn't every day that a man gets married. Yes, sir.
That's right. So I hope you're wearing something borrowed and something blue. Because you're not going anywhere. We'll send a gig for your dress whites. Nothing is going to interfere with this wedding.
Looks like we got some uninvited guests.
Hey, condition red, abandoned ship. I mean, battle station.
Hey, boy, guns, guys. Man, we're sitting ducks here. Go down there and help take her. Come on with those engines.
Right,
let's go. No, come on. Chuck, get on that gun.
He's abandoned at 11 o'clock. Get him.
Right, 11 o'clock.
What's for the pointing that thing, you nitwit?
Oh, I'm sorry, sir, but you're standing right at 11 o'clock.
You'll make it a quarter to 11.
Better make it 10:30, you.
Right. Oh, Bell, don't you ever wash? Take the gun from this nitwit before he kills us all.
Let me help you, ma'am. Sir.
Up! Who shot everybody on here anyway? Shoot up!
Hey, duck, boys! Here comes a big one!
They're trying to kill us! Get back on those guns! You!
Bell, I told you to get a haircut.
All right, ceasefire going away now. Bill, get below.
Just a minute there, Seaman O'Hara. What are you trying to pull here, McHale? Well, me. You're trying to Shanghai this woman. Well, now you hear this and you hear this good. Nothing is going to stop this wedding.
Sir!
How are you this time, boy? What?
The Nebula Nuisance. Chronicles of Outpost, Zion, 9, Chapter 1. The Magnetic Garter Belt Crisis. The edge of the Gilded Sector was not where heroes were made. It was where military careers went to die in a slow, agonizing heat death. Stationed on the floating rust bucket known as Outpost Zion 9, Commander Barnaby Beetlebrow Bluster sat at his desk, clutching a bottle of anti-acid tablets as if it were the Holy Grail. Wow, 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 Bluster barked, his voice echoing through the metallic vents. Across from him, a man who looked like he had been assembled from spare parts and bad luck stood at attention. This was Junior Officer Percy Puddles, a man whose primary contribution to the Space Force was proving that gravity had a personal vendetta against some people. Magnetic suspension straps. Puddles. If the nurses need magnetic gutter belts to keep their anti-gravity suits from riding up, you snap to it. Shake a solar sail. Move. Sir, I'm the supply officer, not a lingerie consultant. Puddles whimpered, adjusting his oversized helmet. I don't care if you're the Emperor of Andromeda, Bluster roared. Everything is on my shoulders. And now, I get a transmission from the High Command. Grand Overseer, Steel Spine. Sterling is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Steel Spine. The man who once court-martialed a robot for having a rusty bolt. Do you realize what a mess this station is in? The plumbing in the Petty Officers Nebula Club is backing up with green sludge, and the laundry droids are on strike. Bluster's desk comlink chirped. He hit it with a fist. Yes, this is Commander Bluster. Who did you expect? The ghost of Christmas future? Listen, the sinks are backing up, and I am not a plumber. Go find a wrench and a prayer. He turned back to Puddles, his eyes twitching. My stomach acid could fuel a warp drive. I'm going to be sick. I really feel it coming on. And you know what happens when a commander is incapacitated? Puddles blinked. The station explodes? No, you ninny. I appoint an acting base commander, and I know just the man to throw under the bus. Captain Calamity Cassian. With Cassian and his crew of space pirates in charge, they'll turn this place into a riot. When Sterling arrives, he'll see Cassian's incompetence. Not mine. It's brilliant. I look sick, don't I? Terribly, sir, Puddles lied. Should I call the medbay? Hurry. Tell them I'm at death's door. Chapter 2. The Acting Commander's Reign. Captain Cassian was a man of leisure who happened to own a starship. His vessel, the Star Skimmer, was a patched-together PT-class scout ship that had seen more parties than combat missions. When he was summoned to Bluster's bedside, he found the commander draped in a silk robe, groaning like a dying nebula. Oh, Cassian. The end is near, Bluster moaned. I'm appointing you acting base commander while I recover. Cassian leaned back, a smirk playing on his lips. Me? Sir, I'm a deep space navigator. I'm no good behind a desk. I'll just get in the way. Nonsense. Bluster coughed dramatically. And to help you, I'm appointing Puddles here as your executive officer. Puddles beamed. Oh boy. Did you hear that, Captain? You won't regret this, sir. As soon as they left the room, Bluster sat bolt upright, a wicked grin on his face. This is going to be the happiest illness of my life. They're going to destroy themselves before the Overseer even lands. Back at the command center, the destruction began, but not in the way Bluster intended. Cassian didn't bother with the plumbing. Instead, he opened the comms. Attention. Zion, 9. Cassian's voice boomed over the station. Also, I've heard rumors the crew wants to throw a little action gala. My orders? Full speed ahead. Open the contraband lockers. Let's see some life on this rock. Let them air. Within hours, Zion, 9 transformed. Holographic hula dancers shimmered in the hallways. The sound of Xylosian jazz echoed through the docking bays. The crew was raking in a pile of credits by selling synthetic moonshine. Then, the warning klaxon sounded. Captain! Puddles shrieked. Steel Spine Sterling's shuttle just docked. He's on his way up. Cassian froze. Iron Pants is here? Now? Puddles, get those dancers into the air raid shelter. Chapter 3. The Moon Maiden Trap. Grand Overseer Sterling marched onto the bridge, his boots clicking with the precision of a ticking bomb. He was a man who looked like he had never smiled in his entire life, possibly because his facial muscles were made of reinforced titanium. "Commander Cassian," Sterling barked. "Where is Bluster?" "In the medbay, sir." "A tragic case of Martian mumps," Cassian replied, saluting so hard he almost poked his own eye out. I shall pay my respects, but first, the inspection." Meanwhile, in the medbay, Bluster was preparing his final blow. He knew the dancers were hidden in the air raid shelter. He just needed to nudge the overseer in that direction. "Admiral!" Bluster gasped as Sterling entered. "Thank goodness you're here. You must check the air raid shelter. I fear there is scandalous activity there. Hula girls, sir. Hundreds of them." Sterling narrowed his eyes. "Hula girls? In a combat zone?" "Cassian, explain." Cassian broke into a sweat. "He's delirious, sir. Hallucinations." "It's the mumps. I saw them," Bluster yelled, leaping out of bed in his pajamas. "They're in the laundry droids. They're in the closets." He flung open a closet door, expecting to find a hidden nurse. Instead, out tumbled Junior Officer Puddles, clutching a pair of magnetic garter belts. "Reporting for duty, sir." Puddles squeaked. Sterling stared at the scene, a commander in pajamas, a junior officer with lingerie, and an acting commander who looked like he was trying to vanish into the floorboards. "Bluster," Sterling said coldly. "If you weren't at death's door, I'd strip your rank for this madness. Get back in bed. Cassian, we proceed with the inspection, and if I find one hula girl, heads will roll." The group marched toward the laundry sector. Suddenly, a fire drill alarm blared. Puddles had tripped a sensor. A swarm of crew members in bulky fire suits rushed past, obscuring everything. When the smoke cleared, the girls had been whisked away into the maintenance tunnels. "Binghamton, I mean. Bluster," Sterling growled. "Return to the hospital, or I'll have you sedated." Chapter 4. The High Exalt of Xylos. No sooner had the overseer departed than a new crisis arrived. A golden, ornate cruiser drifted toward the station. It carried the High Exalt Zog of Xylos and his 3 royal daughters. "A sultan. An exalt?" Bluster hissed, his eyebrows twitching. "This is our chance for a promotion. We must impress him." "Cassian, take the Star Skimmer and rescue them. Their engine is failing near the Aku Aku asteroid belt." Cassian and his crew arrived to find Zog, a man draped in jewels and smelling of exotic spices, clinging to his dignity, while his daughters looked bored. "Greetings, O exalted one," Cassian said, bowing. "I am Captain Cassian. We are here to serve." "Can you be trusted?" Zog asked, peering at Glint, the station's resident scoundrel. "Wowie wow wow," Glint whispered, staring at the princesses. Zog's guard drew a laser sword. "The next man to debase the dignity of the princesses will answer to me." The rescue was a success, but the trouble began when Glint decided he was in love with Princess Siri. He convinced Puddles to help him borrow the Star Skimmer for a romantic moon cruise. While Cassian was busy at a state dinner with Bluster and the Exalt. To keep Puddles occupied, the crew convinced him to perform a blindfolded maintenance drill on a heavy pulse cannon. While Puddles was fumbling in the dark, Glint slipped away with the princess. At the dinner, things went south. The Exalt, impressed by Cassian's bravery, insisted his daughters perform a traditional Xylosian dance. "This is a rare treat, sir," Bluster chuckled, leaning in. But one of the dancers looked familiar. She was wearing a heavy veil, but her boots were standard issue Space Force. It was Vance, one of Cassian's crewmen, shoved into a dress to cover for the missing Princess Siri. Bluster, sensing a trick, leaped up. "One of these girls is an imposter. You phony Balinese bunny, you're under arrest." He lunged at the dancer, ripping off the veil. Vance's bearded face stared back at him. "Commander," Zog roared, standing up. "This is an outrage. You have insulted my bloodline. I will raid your Washington. I will tell the Emperor." "Wait," Bluster stammered. I thought he was a spy." The Exalt stormed out, leaving Bluster clutching a handful of silk and a very dim future. Chapter 5. The Euphoria Vapor. Bluster was finished. He had called for a fitness board to convene and strip Cassian and Puddles of their ranks. He had them dead to rights after the Princess Vance incident and a minor collision where the Starskimmer had accidentally run over Bluster's personal space scooter. "I'm going to break you down to space private," Bluster screamed. "I'm a regular Casey Jones of railroading." "Skip," Puddles whispered to Cassian later. "What are we going to do?" "That board arrives tomorrow." Cassian leaned against a crate of Euphoria Vapor, a gas used by station dentists to keep patients compliant. "If we can't change his mind, we'll change his mood. If Bluster is in a happy land, he'll cancel the hearing." The plan was set. The crew rigged a canister of the gas to the ventilation system leading into Bluster's office. "Captain," Puddles said, walking into Bluster's office with a bouquet of goldenrod flowers. "We brought you a gift. No hard feelings." "Goldenrod?" Bluster sneezed. "I'm allergic. Get that out of here. Open the window." As Bluster threw open the window, Glint, stationed outside with a spray hose, gave him a direct blast of the Euphoria Vapor. Bluster took a deep breath. His eyes widened. His scowl, a permanent fixture for 20 years, began to crack. A giggle escaped his lips. "He he. Chucky Wucky," Bluster chirped, looking at Puddles. "You torpedoed a garbage scow? Oh, that is a riot. The potato peels must have looked just like a submarine." "He. Sir?" Puddles asked, stunned. "You're not mad?" "Mad? I love you, Chucky Wucky. I love everyone. Carpenter, Meddroid. Send a message to the High Command. Cancel the fitness board. These men are heroes. They're angels." Bluster began to dance on his desk, waving the magnetic garter belts like pom-poms. Just then, the shuttle carrying Admiral Shoemaker, the head of the fitness board, docked. He walked onto the bridge to find the station commander singing show tunes while wearing a floral lei. "Binghamton Bluster," Shoemaker barked. "What in the name of the Great White Fleet is going on here?" "Admiral, Winnie Winnie Winnie." Bluster giggled, pinching the Admiral's cheek. "Come and dance. It's a gala." "A wing-ding." Cassian stepped in, trying to hide the gas canister behind his back. He's just excited to see you, sir." "A special occasion." "Disgraceful," Shoemaker yelled. "I came here to judge an ensign, but I find a commander who has lost his marbles. Where is this unfit officer, Puddles?" Puddles, still slightly buzzed from the leaking gas, wandered out onto the exterior hull of the station without a tether. At that exact moment, a rogue asteroid drifted near the station. When 10UB, Puddles, thinking it was a giant beach ball, fired a single, lucky shot from a handheld flare gun. The flare hit a pocket of frozen gas on the asteroid, causing it to shatter and veer away from the station. "Magnificent," Shoemaker gasped, watching through the viewport. That lad stood laughing in the face of death. He saved the station single-handedly. "Bluster, you were right. He is a combat genius." "I told you!" Bluster laughed, falling off his desk. "He's Chucky Wucky. He's my star." Chapter 6. The Martian Swamp Lizard and the Payroll. Weeks passed, and the station had returned to its usual state of controlled chaos. But a new resident had appeared. Sydney, a 3-foot-long Martian swamp lizard that Puddles had adopted. "He's a mascot, Skip," Puddles pleaded. "He loves my mother's peanut butter sandwiches." "He looks like a suitcase with teeth," Cassian remarked. "Keep him away from Bluster." But Bluster had bigger problems. The station's payroll 62,000 galactic credits in unmarked bills had arrived. Fearing Cassian would steal it, Bluster decided to set a trap. He marked the bills and hid his wallet in a conspicuous spot near the Nebula Club, hoping Cassian would take the bait. Instead, Sydney the lizard found the wallet. "Skipper! Skipper!" "He ate Bluster?" Glint cheered. "Hip hip hooray for Sydney." But Bluster wasn't eaten. He appeared a moment later, screaming about his missing money. "I've got you! The ID card was found in your shack. Puddles! You stole the payroll. It was the lizard, sir." Puddles cried. "Sydney took it." "An alligator?" A code name for Cassian, no doubt. Bluster sneered. I'm taking you to a court-martial. The trial was a farce. Puddles acted as his own defense attorney. I object. You can't call Sidney stupid. He may look stupid, but he had an unhappy childhood. Order, the judge screamed. Produce the witness or face the brig. Cassian and the crew spent all night hunting through the vents. Finally, they found Sidney. He was wedged in a maintenance pipe, still clutching the wallet. Come on, Sidney, Cassian coaxed. Follow the peanut butter. That's a good boy. They dragged the lizard into the courtroom just as the judge was about to pass sentence. Evidence, Your Honor, Cassian yelled. Sidney waddled to the center of the room and spat the wallet onto the judge's desk. Aha, Bluster yelled. A frame-up. Wait, the judge said, opening the wallet. These bills are marked, and here is a note in the commander's handwriting. Trap for Cassian. Why me? Bluster wailed, looking up at the ceiling lights. Why is it always me? Chapter 7. The Jinx of Ship 1-3. The final straw came when the Star Skimmer was assigned a new hull number, 13. It's a jinx, Puddles screamed. Ship 1-3. The crew was terrified. Rumors spread that the ship was haunted by the ghosts of a previous crew who had vanished into a black hole. Bluster, seeing an opportunity to get rid of them, encouraged the rumor. Yes, it's true, Bluster told them, his voice a low whisper. She's a floating Jonah, a death trap. You should all put in for immediate transfers to the salt mines of Sirius B. The crew was ready to sign the papers until Cassian found a discarded file in Bluster's trash. The haunting was a hoax. The ship had simply been renamed for a clerical error. So he wants to play ghosts, does he? Cassian smirked. All right, boys. Let's give him a haunting he'll never forget. That night, Bluster was celebrating his victory in his quarters. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A cold wind, the air conditioning on max, blew through the room. Who's there? Bluster stammered. Binghamton. A ghostly voice echoed. 3 glowing figures. The crew, in bioluminescent paint, drifted through the walls. We are the ghosts of Ship 1-3, they wailed. We have come for the transfers, Wally. They run a tight cloud up there, and we need the paperwork. Take them, Bluster screamed, throwing the transfer papers at them. Just leave me alone. I have a martini spilled. I'm too young to go to the big PT boat in the sky. The ghosts vanished with the papers. The next morning, Bluster walked onto the bridge, looking like he had aged 10 years. He saw Cassian and the crew, perfectly healthy, standing by the Star Skimmer. You're alive? Bluster gasped. Of course, sir, Cassian smiled. Why wouldn't we be? Oh, and thanks for the promotion papers you signed last night. We found them on the floor. Very generous of you. Bluster looked at the papers. They weren't transfers. In his terror, he had signed commendations of valor for the entire crew. He slumped into his chair, defeated. From the corner of the bay, Sidney the swamp lizard waddled over and nudged his boot, looking for a peanut butter sandwich. Wow, 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 Bluster whispered softly. What a war. The end. The Azuria Anarchy. A Tale of Misfits and Mayhem. By Jax Sterling's Ghostwriter. Chapter 1. The Logistics of Anti-Gravity Hosiery. The Sons of Azuria. All 3 of them were beating down on the Durasteel dome of Outpost X-77 with the kind of ferocity usually reserved for spiteful ex-wives. Inside the command center, Station Master Barnaby, the Bluster Blythe, was currently having a meltdown of galactic proportions. Wow, 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 wow. Blythe screamed, his face turning a shade of purple that matched the local flora. He slammed a datapad onto his mahogany desk. Quantum support straps. Lieutenant Percy Pringle, you are the chief logistics officer of this godforsaken moon. If the research nurses need anti-gravity hosiery to keep their stockings from floating away in the logi sectors, you know what I mean. Pringle, a man whose uniform always looked 3 sizes too large and whose brain seemed to be permanently set to buffering, blinked rapidly. But, sir, the requisition forms for hosiery are tied up in the Nebula Sector's red tape. I thought maybe we could just use duct tape? Duct tape? Blythe's voice hit a pitch that shattered a nearby synthetic crystal decanter. What a war. Everything is on my shoulders. I'm surrounded by idiots, incompetents, and whatever the hell Jack Sterling is. As if summoned by the mention of his name, a transmission flickered onto the main view screen. It was a PAL from Central Command. Barnaby, old boy, the voice crackled. Heads up. High Commissioner Ironclad is arriving today for a sneak inspection. He's in a foul mood. Barnaby, something about a bad batch of space protein. Blythe's purple face instantly turned a sickly pale green. Ironclad? Here? Now? Have you seen the state of this station? The petty officer's lounge smells like fermented swamp algae, and the automated sinks are backing up with radioactive sludge. The comms link cut out. Blythe turned to Pringle, his eyes darting around like a trapped rodent. The stress was palpable. He reached for his stomach acid suppressants, popping them like candy. Sir, please, Pringle whined. Those pills give you terrible indigestion. You know, the doctor said your stomach acid could corrode a starship hull. I don't care. Someone to take the blame for the sludge sinks. A slow, devious smile crept across Blythe's face. He looked out the window at the docking bay, where Jax, the rogue Sterling, and his crew of Azuria gypsies were currently unloading a crate of illegal moonshine disguised as engine coolant. Not Pringle, Blythe muttered. They'll create a disaster so magnificent that Ironclad will be forced to court-martial them on the spot. I'll look like a victim of circumstance. Sir, you're looking sort of feverish, Pringle noted. I am, Blythe gasped, clutching his chest and stumbling toward the sofa. I'm terribly sick. Call the medical droids. Call the paramedics. Hurry, I'm fading. On the double, as the medical team rushed in, Sterling walked into the office, looking entirely too relaxed for a man on a military base. He was wearing a Hawaiian-patterned flight suit and holding a coconut shell with a straw. Hey, Commander Blythe. Heard you were feeling a bit under the weather, or under the moon, whatever. Sterling. Blythe groaned, his voice a theatrical whisper. The medics, they don't know how long I'll be out. I'm appointing you acting station master. It's a heavy burden, but someone has to do it. Sterling raised an eyebrow. Me? Running the whole station? Come on, Barnaby. I'm a saltwater skipper. Well, space water. I'm no good behind a desk. I'm appointing Pringle here as your acting executive officer, Blythe added, winking at the ceiling. He'll help you. Oh, boy. Pringle beamed. Did you hear that, Jax? We're in charge. You won't regret this, sir. Blythe closed his eyes, a serene smile on his lips. I know I won't. Now, get out. All of you. Command is yours. Chapter 2. The Sultan of the Starlight Isles. 3 hours into Sterling's command, Azuria Station was no longer a military outpost. It was a theme park. The Petty Officers Club had been converted into a high-stakes Havapoka den. The Azuria Gypsies Sterling's crew were running a brisk trade in exotic fruits and authentic souvenirs. Chief, Sterling shouted over the noise of a nearby synthesizer band. What's the status of those hosiery orders? Good news, boss, Chief Baza yelled back, holding up a bundle of shimmering elastic bands. We found the quantum straps. The nurses are happy, but the sinks are still backing up. Tell the maintenance droids to use the radioactive sludge as fuel for the skiff, Sterling ordered. Just then, the emergency alarm blared. A sleek, golden-winged shuttle was approaching the station. Commander, Pringle stammered, checking his datapad. It's not Ironclad. It's High Sovereign Kale of the Starlight Isles. He's seeking asylum because his home planet is under threat from the Void Raiders. And he's brought his 3 daughters, a sovereign and 3 princesses? Sterling grinned. Well, that's a feather in our cap. Or our space helmets. The shuttle docked, and a man, draped in silks that shimmered like nebulae, stepped out. Behind him were 3 young women who looked like they had been carved from starlight. "Greetings, exalted ruler," Sterling said, bowing with practiced charm. "I am Commander Jack Sterling. Welcome to Azuria." Kyle looked around, his eyes landing on Pringle, who was currently tangled in a stray garter belt. "Are these the men I am to trust with my life?" "My cargo is priceless." "Absolutely, sir," Sterling assured him. "You're under the protection of the Space Navy. I travel with my daughters," Kyle said sternly. "In my country, to even look upon them without permission is a crime punishable by, well, something very unpleasant." "Don't worry, Sovereign," Sterling said, shooting a look at his crew, who were staring at the princesses like hungry wolves at a steakhouse. "My men are professional. Entirely professional." "Wowie, wow, wow," Baza whispered under his breath. Kyle, spoon around. "What was that?" "A ceremonial greeting," Sterling blurted out. "In our culture, wowie wow means, 'We are humbled by your grace.' Like a space chicken. It's very respectful." Kyle narrowed his eyes. "I see. If any man debases the dignity of my daughters, he will answer to me. And my laser sword." The Sovereign was so impressed by Sterling's hospitality that he requested a tour of the moon's surrounding reefs in a high-speed hydroskiff. Sterling, seeing an opportunity to keep the Sovereign happy while Blythe was sick, agreed. But back at the station, the Azuria gypsies had other ideas. They had decided to throw a welcome party for the princesses, involving hula droids, fermented nectar, and a complete lack of military decorum. Chapter 3: The Ghost of Outpost, X-77. While Sterling was out on the skiff, Commissioner Irongut Ironclad arrived. He didn't find a disciplined military base. He found a Roman orgy in space. He stormed into the command center, where Pringle was trying to explain why there were hula droids in the air raid shelters. "What is the meaning of this?" Ironclad bellowed. "Oh, welcome, Commissioner," Pringle chirped, completely oblivious to the danger. "We're just having a little shindig," the commander said. "Full speed ahead." "Where is Blythe?" Ironclad demanded. "In the hospital, sir," Pringle said. "He's got space ague. Very contagious. You probably shouldn't visit." Ironclad marched to the medical wing anyway. He found Blythe tucked into bed, looking far too comfortable. Blythe," Ironclad roared. "Explain the hula droids." Blythe sat up, eyes wide. "Commissioner, I'm delirious. I'm seeing things. I saw princesses in the laundry shack." "Sterling, he's turned the base into a madhouse. He's telling the truth, sir." Lieutenant Carpenter, Blythe's sycophant, added. "Sterling is a terrible influence. He's sneaking women into the torpedo tubes." Ironclad turned to see Sterling walking in, looking perfectly calm. "Commissioner, glad you could join us. We were just showing the Sovereign the local scenery. Wandi, 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 Loke, Wandi, 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 Wandi." "Sterling," Blythe shouted from his bed. "Tell him about the hula girls. Tell him you failed." Sterling leaned against the doorframe. "Actually, sir, those hula girls were a cultural exchange program authorized by the Sovereign himself. And as for the laundry shack, well, that was a fire drill. A 100% successful fire drill." Just then, a group of sailors ran past the window, wearing grass skirts over their uniforms, chasing a stray robot. "Fire drill?" Ironclad asked, raising an eyebrow. "Intense training, sir," Sterling said. "Simulating an invasion of planet Aloha." Ironclad looked at Blythe, who was now foaming at the mouth. "Blythe, I think you've been under combat fatigue for too long. You're seeing hallucinations. You're dismissed." Blythe 5-0. "I think you've been under trolas." "Sterling, continue your command." Blythe let out a strangled cry and pulled the covers over his head. Chapter 4: Nitrous, 9 and the Laughing Commander. A few days later, the Sovereign had left, and Blythe was back in command, though his sanity was hanging by a thread. He was determined to get rid of Sterling once and for all. He's a menace. Blythe screamed at his desk. I'm convening a fitness board. I'll break Sterling down to a space scrub second class so fast his head will spin. However, Destiny had other plans. Sterling had just returned from the dentist with a pulled wisdom tooth and a heavy dose of nitrous 9, a potent space-age laughing gas. He wandered into Blythe's office, giggling uncontrollably. Commander, Sterling wheezed, leaning on Blythe's shoulder. Your eyebrows. They look like fuzzy caterpillars. Why are they so angry? Get off me, Blythe snarled. You're intoxicated. Resisting arrest. I've got you now. But the crew had a plan. They had swapped the station's air filtration system with a tank of nitrous 9. Within minutes, the entire command deck was in a state of hysterical euphoria. Wally Winky. Sterling laughed, poking Blythe in the ribs. You're so funny when you're mad. Let's cancel that fitness board and go for a swim. Blythe, fighting the gas, tried to maintain his dignity. I will. Ha, ha ha. You're right, Jax. I'm a big old silly Billy. Pringle, cancel the board. Send a message to the admiral. Tell him we're having a tea party. Right away, Bingy Wingy. Pringle giggled, skipping toward the radio shack. By the time Commissioner Ironclad arrived for a follow-up, he found Blythe and Sterling dancing a waltz in the command center while Pringle played a harmonica. Blythe! Ironclad screamed. Blythe spun around, a manic grin on his face. Jax thinks it should be an alligator, but I'm partial to a space hamster. Ironclad sighed, rubbing his temples. I'm starting to think this moon is haunted. Chapter 5, Sydney, the Cyber Croc, and the missing credits. The final straw came when the station's payroll 62,000 galactic credits went missing. Pringle had been tasked with picking up the credits from the transport shuttle. He had decided to take a shortcut through the Azuria swamps, a bioengineered jungle meant for research. He came back empty-handed and hysterical. It ate it! Pringle cried. A giant lizard with a cybernetic jaw. It snatched the payroll bag right out of my hands. Blythe didn't believe him. You stole it, you idiot. You and Sterling are in cahoots. I'm court-martialing the lot of you. The trial was held in the station's main hangar. Blythe acted as the prosecutor, pacing back and forth with a look of predatory glee. The defense claims a Cybercroc stole the money, Blythe sneered. A ridiculous story. There are no such creatures on this moon. Sterling stood up. Actually, sir, we found a witness. We'd like to call Sydney to the stand. Sydney? Blythe laughed. And who is Sydney? Some imaginary friend? The hangar doors creaked open. A 12-foot-long alligator with a gleaming metallic leg and a glowing red optic eye waddled into the room. In its mouth was a scorched canvas bag marked Station Payroll. The court fell silent. He likes peanut butter, Pringle whispered. Sydney dropped the bag at the feet of the judge. Then, with a sudden lurch, he snapped his jaws at Blythe's trousers. Gah! Blythe screamed, leaping onto the judge's desk. Salve me! It's a monster! It's a devil beast! Sterling stepped forward, patting the alligator on its scaly head. Easy, Sydney. The commander doesn't taste very good. Too much stomach acid. He opened the bag. Inside were the 62,000 credits, slightly damp but entirely present. Exhibit A, Sterling said. The payroll was retrieved by our new station mascot. And it seems he also found this. Sterling pulled out a small leather wallet from the bag. He opened it. Captain Barnaby Blythe's ID card. It seems the commander dropped this in the swamp while setting a trap for us earlier today. Blythe, still trembling on the desk, looked down to see the High Commissioner standing at the back of the room. Blythe, Ironclad said, his voice cold enough to freeze a star. Trying to frame your own officers? Misusing station assets to bait an alligator? I think a long rest at the penal colony of Saturn would do you some good. Wait, Blythe pleaded. It was the hosiery. The garter belts made me do it. Epilogue. The Azuria sunsets. As Blythe was led away in gravity handcuffs, Jack Sterling took his seat at the commander's desk. He put his feet up and took a long sip from a fresh coconut. So, Jax, Pringle said, leaning in. Sterling looked out at the three suns setting over the Emerald Sea. He saw his crew running a beach volleyball tournament, the nurses testing out their new anti-gravity hosiery, and Sidney the cyber croc sunning himself on the landing pad. First order of business? Percy? And across the galaxy, the legend of Azuria Station grew a place where the rules were suggestions. The commanders were crazy, and the only thing more dangerous than a void raider was a crew with a sense of humor. The end. The Azure Misfits. Chronicles of the Manta. 7-3. Chapter 1. The Bluster's Bellyache. The tropical sun over the archipelago of the Azure Fringe was not merely a celestial body. It was a personal affront to Captain Barnaby, the Bluster Blythe. Blythe was a man whose blood pressure could be measured by the shade of crimson on his neck, and currently he was a deep, concerning shade of beetroot. Wow. Just wow, Blythe muttered, staring at a requisition form. Garter belts, carpenter. Garter belts. His nervous adjutant, Lieutenant Elroy Carpenter, a man who looked like he had been built out of pipe cleaners, and anxiety winced. The nurses were quite insistent, sir. They say the humidity makes their stockings uncooperative. We are at war, Carpenter, a war for the very soul of the fringe. Blythe slammed his fist onto his desk, which caused his collection of porcelain tactical ships to rattle ominously. I am the commanding officer of this base, not a haberdasher for hosiery. If they need garter belts, tell them to use duct tape. No, wait. Don't tell them that. Just shake a leg and get them something. My stomach is already turning into a vat of battery acid. Blythe popped a pill, then another. He lived on a diet of antacids and spite. But the real reason for his indigestion wasn't the nurse's undergarments. It was the message sitting on his desk. Admiral Sterling is coming, Blythe whispered, his voice trembling. He'll look at this place, with the leaky sinks in the Petty Officers Club and the smell of fermented coconut, and he'll have my head on a pike by sundown. Blythe looked out the window toward the docks where the Manta 7-3 sat. It was an old PT boat, patched together with chewing gum, prayer, and stolen parts. Its commander, Jax Rudder Rourke, was a man Blythe, loathed with the fire of 1,000 suns. Rourke and his crew were pirates in all but name. They wore Hawaiian shirts under their tunics, ran a floating casino, and somehow managed to be the most effective combat unit in the region. Wait, Blythe said, a wicked glint entering his eyes. If I'm sick, truly, medically incapacitated, I can't be held responsible for the state of the base. I can appoint an acting commander. Waiterlas endasculi, Carpenter blinked. Sir? You're going to give the base to me? You? Don't be a nitwit, Carpenter. I'm giving it to Rourke. But sir, Rourke and his cutthroats will turn this place into a Roman orgy within 20 minutes. Exactly. Blythe cackled, clutching his stomach. They'll run wild. They'll destroy themselves right in front of steel-gaze Sterling. I'll be tucked away in the infirmary, innocent as a babe, while Rourke gets court-martialed into the next century. Quick, call the medic. Tell them I've got the jungle egg, the blue bloat, anything. Chapter 2. Commander Rourke's new toy, Jax Rourke, was currently engaged in the very important military task of teaching a parrot how to whistle. The Star-Spangled Banner in minor key when Carpenter arrived, panting. Commander! The captain, he's dying. Or at least, he's pretending to very loudly. Rourke, a man with a permanent smirk and eyes that had seen too many sunsets, adjusted his cap. Dying, eh? Did he finally see his own reflection in a polished mirror? He's appointing you acting base commander, sir. Effective immediately. Rourke's eyes widened. Behind him, his crew, a motley collection of geniuses and degenerates, stopped what they were doing. Sly Silas, the ship's quartermaster and premier black market specialist, leaned in. Acting commander? Skip, think of the possibilities. The supply depot. The keys to the liquor locker. The power to authorize. Anything. I don't know, Sly, Rourke said, though his mind was already racing. It sounds like a desk job. Take it, Skip, urged Virgil, the engine whisperer. Think of the boys. We could finally fix the sinks. Rourke accepted the post with a mock solemnity that would have made a saint weep. He moved into Blythe's office, put his boots up on the mahogany desk, and immediately designated Ensign Pip Pothole Pendergast as his executive officer. Pip was a well-meaning kid who could trip over a flat surface in an empty room. Oh boy, Skipper, an executive officer. Does this mean I get a whistle? You get 2 whistles, Pip. Now, first order of business. The garter belts. And the sinks. And what's this? A radar contact? The honeymoon period lasted exactly 12 minutes. The phone began to ring. Maintenance was a mess. The Seabees were building a barracks in the middle of a rifle range. The supply list was missing 300 crates of spam. Skip! The boys want to throw a little shindig tonight, Sly Silas whispered, leaning over the desk. A bit of a celebration for the new regime. We've got some coconut moonshine and a couple of hula dancers from the next island over. Sly, I'm the acting base commander, Rourke said, rubbing his temples. I have responsibilities. I have standards. I have... Oh. What the hell? Full speed ahead. Tell the boys to open up shop. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Shindig. While Blythe lay in the infirmary, dreaming of Rourke's demise, a new complication arrived. The Exarch of Xylos. The Exarch was a royal of immense wealth and even more immense pride, traveling with his 3 daughters, the princesses of the moon. Their plane had developed engine trouble near the fringe, and Rourke, being the gentleman he was, sent the Manta 7-3 to rescue them. Your Highness, Rourke said, bowing as the Exarch stepped onto the dock. Welcome to the Azure Fringe. I am Commander Rourke. The Exarch surveyed the base. He saw a sailor chasing a pig, another sailor sleeping in a hammock made of signal flags, and Pip Pendergast accidentally saluting a palm tree. This is Uzinho na Fanas. Thank you for watching. A military installation? It's a specialized tactical environment. Rourke lied smoothly. I wish to see your vessels, the Exarch commanded. If my country had a navy, I would want boats such as these. Rourke made the mistake of letting the Exarch take the wheel of the Manta 7-3. Within seconds, the Royal had nearly leveled the pier. Meanwhile, Pip was tasked with entertaining the princesses. So, Pip said, sweating profusely as he stood before the 3 stunning women. Do you ladies like nomenclature? I could show you how to dismantle a 50 caliber machine gun while blindfolded. We would prefer to dance, the eldest princess replied. Back at the office, the chaos peaked. The admiral's plane had landed. Rourke scrambled. He had to hide the moonshine, the hula dancers, and the fact that the Exarch's daughters were currently teaching Pip how to do the forbidden fire dance in the air raid shelter. Admiral Sterling, Rourke shouted, snapping to attention as the terrifyingly stiff officer marched toward him. Welcome, sir. Acting Commander Rourke at your service. Sterling looked around. The base was suspiciously quiet. Too quiet. Where is Captain Blythe? In the hospital, sir. Combat fatigue. Hallucinations. He thinks he sees hula dancers everywhere. Just then, Blythe emerged from the infirmary, dressed in a stolen seaman's uniform, screaming about the evidence he had hidden in the laundry shack. He looked entirely insane. There they are. The girls, Blythe shouted, pointing at a group of sailors who were frantically trying to hide grass skirts behind their backs. Admiral, Rourke is running a brothel. Admiral Sterling looked at Blythe, then at Rourke. Rourke shrugged sympathetically. Poor captain. The tropical fever is a cruel mistress, sir. Get this man back to bed, Sterling barked. And Rourke? Good job keeping things orderly. Chapter 4. The Gas of Gladness. A week later, Blythe was back in command, his plan having failed spectacularly. He was now determined to destroy Pip Pendergast via a fitness board hearing, hoping to break the weak link of Rourke's crew. I'll have his stripes, Rourke, Blythe roared. The boy is a menace. He torpedoed a garbage scow because he thought it was a submerged vegetable monster. Rourke knew he had to save Pip. The solution arrived in the form of a dental appointment. Rourke had a wisdom tooth pulled, and the dentist used nitrous oxide laughing gas. Rourke returned to the ship in a state of blissful, hysterical euphoria, giggling at the very concept of water. That's it, Sly Silas realized. If we get Blythe on the gas, he'll be so happy he'll cancel the hearing. He'll be bingy-winky again. The crew managed to sneak a tank of laughing gas into the vents of the captain's office. They waited for the moment of truth. Blythe sat at his desk, preparing the papers to ruin Pip's career. Suddenly, a sweet smell filled the room. Blythe paused. He looked at a requisition form for toilet paper. He began to chuckle. Then he started to howl. "Oh, Carpenter, look at this. Toilet paper. It sounds so funny. Toilet paper. Ha 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 ha." Rourke and Pip walked in. "Captain, about the hearing?" "Hearing? Oh, Chucky Wucky," Blythe said, hugging Pip. "I love you, you little torpedo monkey. You're promoted. Everyone's promoted. Let's go swimming. Let's go chase butterflies." The plan was working perfectly until Admiral Shoemaker arrived for the fitness board. He found Blythe dancing on his desk, wearing a lampshade and singing bawdy sea shanties to a portrait of King George. "Binghamton," Shoemaker roared. "What is the meaning of this?" "Oh, showy," Blythe giggled, trying to pinch the Admiral's cheeks. "You look like a giant potato." A grumpy, decorated potato. Rourke stepped in, pretending to be devastated. "It's the strain, Admiral. The captain works too hard. He has these happy spells, but then the gas wore off." Blythe's face transitioned from euphoria to horror in 3 seconds. "Admiral, I can explain. It was the flies. The frangipani flies. They're spies." Shoemaker shook his head. "I've seen enough. Clearly. The only sane man on this base is Ensign Pendergast. Look at him." He stood there with dignity, while his commander turned into a circus act. Pip, who was currently trying to figure out if his thumb was edible, just smiled blankly. Chapter 5. The Lizard of the Law. The Azure Fringe was home to many creatures, but none were as legendary as Barnaby Jr., a 6-foot-long mutated swamp lizard that the crew had adopted as a mascot. Barnaby J. had a face only a mother, or Virgil, could love, and a stomach that could digest a tire. One afternoon, Captain Blythe decided to conduct a trap to catch Rourke in an act of theft. He left his wallet, stuffed with $900 of marked bills, actually Lieutenant Carpenter's back pay, on a bench near the docks. "Now we wait, Carpenter," Blythe whispered from behind a palm tree. "When Rourke picks it up, we pounce." Unfortunately, it wasn't Rourke who found the wallet. It was Barnaby Jr. The lizard, thinking the leather wallet was a particularly chewy toad, swallowed it whole and waddled away. 10 minutes later, Pip found Barnaby J. "Hey, look, Barnaby's got something in his mouth." "It's an ID card." "Captain Wallace B. Blythe." "Oh no, Barnaby ate the captain." The base went into a panic. Pip was arrested for alligator-assisted homicide until Blythe appeared, very much alive and very much enraged. "Where's the money, Rourke? I know you have it." "Sir, the lizard ate it," Rourke said calmly. "A lizard? An alligator stole my wallet? I'll see you in court for this." The court-martial of Pip Pendergast was the event of the season. Pip acted as his own defense attorney. "Your Honor, I move for a mistrial on the grounds that Barnaby Jr. had an unhappy childhood. He was a victim of circumstance and a lack of peanut butter." Just as the judge was about to pass sentence, Rourke and the crew marched into the courtroom, with Barnaby Jr. on a leash. "Exhibit A, Your Honor," Rourke shouted. The lizard, sensing the tension, let out a massive burp. Out popped the wallet. Slime covered, but intact. "See?" Blythe shouted, grabbing the wallet. "Here it is, my $900. My marked bills. Carpenter, tell them." The courtroom went silent. The judge looked at Blythe. "A trap? You used government funds and your officer's back pay to set a trap for your own men during a time of war? Well, it was a strategic exercise, Blythe stammered. Case dismissed, the judge barked. And, Captain, give that lizard an apology. He's more honest than you are. Chapter 6. The Ghost of the Manta. 1-3. Blythe's final attempt at sanity involved the jinxed boat rumor. He told the crew that the Manta 7-3 was actually the cursed Manta. 1-3. A boat that had lost 3 crews to spontaneous combustion and ghostly intervention. You're all doomed, Blythe cackled. The whammy is upon you. The crew, being superstitious sailors, actually started to believe it. They were ready to transfer out. Rourke knew he had to turn the tables. That night, the base was blanketed in a thick, artificial fog, courtesy of Sly Silas and a dozen fire extinguishers. Blythe was in his office, gloating over the crew's transfer papers, when the lights began to flicker. Wally. Oh, Wally. A spectral voice echoed through the vents. Blythe froze. Who's there? 3 figures appeared in the window, glowing with an eerie green light, phosphorescent paint. They were dressed in tattered uniforms. We are the ghosts of the Manta. 1-3. Rourke's voice boomed, distorted by a megaphone. We've come for the transfers, Wally. The big PT boat in the sky runs a tight cloud. We need the paperwork. Take them, Blythe screamed, throwing the papers into the fog. Just don't take me. I'm too young to be a ghost. I have a pension to collect. The ghosts vanished with the papers. The next morning, Rourke appeared in the office, looking very much alive. Morning, Captain. We found these transfer papers blowing in the wind. Funny thing, though. You accidentally signed them, Wally the Wimp. We'll need you to initial the corrections. Blythe looked at Rourke, then at the Manta, 7-3, which was currently being repainted with a giant 73 to cover the 13 the crew had put there the night before. He sighed, a broken man. Chapter 7. The Payroll Pyrotechnics. The final chapter of the Azure Fringe Chronicles began with $62,000. The base payroll had arrived in New Caledonia, and because the transport plane was grounded, Blythe was forced to send a boat to pick it up. He chose the Manta, 7-3, hoping they would steal it so he could finally, legally, execute them. Pip Pendergast was given the task of carrying the bag. Don't worry, Skipper. I've got the money right here. It's safer than a squirrel in a nut factory. Naturally, Pip got distracted by a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle while he was trying to work up the courage to say hello. He was accosted. He tripped, and the bag was snatched by a pair of local thieves. Skip, I lost it. The money's gone, Pip wailed. The crew spent the next 6 hours scouring the island. They checked every ankle in Noumea for heart-shaped birthmarks. They searched the racetrack, the casino, and a very confused convent. Suddenly, a Japanese Zero, a lone scout, spotted them and began a strafing run. The crew scrambled for cover. They found an old, decorative cannon in the town square. Chuck, light the fuse, Rourke shouted. But Skip, it doesn't work. It's for show. Just do it. Pip lit the fuse. The cannon didn't fire a ball. Thousands of $20 bills fluttered down like snow. The thieves had hidden the payroll bag inside the cannon's barrel, thinking it was the perfect hiding spot. The blast had shredded the bag and sent the money skyward just as Captain Blythe arrived in his jeep to arrest them. There's your money, Captain, Rourke shouted, catching a $50 bill in midair. Talk about a boom in the economy. Blythe stood there, covered in $100 bills, watching as his nemesis and his crew of misfits laughed in the tropical rain. He looked at the money, then at Rourke, then at the sky. Why me? Blythe whispered to the heavens. Why is it always me? In the distance, Barnaby Jr. the lizard let out a contented burp. The Azure Fringe was safe, the payroll was mostly recovered, and Commander Jax Rourke was already planning the next party. As the Manta, 7-3 roared back to base, the sun set over the archipelago, casting a golden glow over the most ridiculous, heroic, and undeniably lucky crew in the history of the Navy. The end. The Chronicles of Tortuga's Rest. A saga of salt, scoundrels, and stratagems. Chapter 1. The humidity of bureaucracy. The Azure Archipelago was a place where the sun didn't just shine, it interrogated you. It was a humid, salt-sprayed purgatory where the only thing thicker than the mosquitoes was the military red tape. At the center of this sweltering madness sat Tortuga's Rest, a naval outpost that was less a strategic fortress and more a collection of thatched huts held together by hope and illegal gin. Commodore Barnaby, the bluster Blythe, sat in his office, his shirt clinging to his back like a desperate barnacle. He was a man whose blood pressure was roughly the same as the steam pressure of a failing boiler. "Garter belts!" Blythe screamed, slamming a hand onto his mahogany desk. "Thorne, you are the chief supply officer of this godforsaken rock. If the nurses say they require garter belts for morale, then by the great Kraken, you will snap to it. Shake a leg, man. Or at least find a leg to put a belt on." Captain Lucky Silas Thorne, a man whose relaxed posture suggested he was permanently on a hammock, even when standing at attention, leaned against the doorframe. He wore a faded Hawaiian shirt under his unbuttoned uniform jacket. "With all due respect, Commodore," Thorne drawled, his eyes scanning a map of the local reefs, where he secretly ran a lucrative pineapple rum trade. "We're in the middle of a global conflict. I thought we were prioritizing torpedoes over lingerie." "Everything is on my shoulders," Blythe moaned, reaching for a bottle of stomach acid suppressants that he consumed like candy. "And now this. A message from the Admiralty. Ah, Admiral Steelglance Sterling is arriving today. A sneak inspection. Do you realize what a mess this place is? The Petty Officers Club has sinks backing up with something that looks suspiciously like fermented swamp mud, and the men are currently running a betting pool on how long it takes for the dock to collapse." The phone rang. Blythe snatched it up. "Blythe here. Who did you expect? Tokyo Rose? The sinks? I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. Fix it, or I'll have you scraping rust off the hulls with your teeth." He slammed the phone down and turned to his loyal, if perpetually confused, aide, Lieutenant Percival Pip Pringle. Pip was a man who could trip over a flat surface and accidentally declare war on a neutral nation. "Sir," Pip whispered, "your stomach acid is high enough to start a diesel engine. Perhaps you should take it easy?" "Take it easy?" Blythe's eyes bulged. "If I were truly ill, I mean, dangerously, certifiably incapacitated, I wouldn't have to face the Admiral. I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to take the fall, someone to be the sacrificial lamb when Sterling sees the hula dancers in the munitions shed." He looked at Thorne. A wicked, desperate light flickered in his eyes. "Thorne, you and your band of cutthroats have turned this base into a circus. Perhaps it's time you saw how hard it is to run the show. I feel a migraine coming on, or perhaps tropical scurvy." "Pip, call the medic. I'm fading fast." Blythe collapsed onto his sofa with the theatrical grace of a dying swan. Thorne sighed. He knew a trap when he smelled one, and this smelled like a trap marinated in cheap cologne. Chapter 2. The Acting Commander. By noon, the unthinkable had happened. Commodore Blythe was bedridden in the infirmary, hidden behind a mountain of pillows, and Captain Silas Thorne was sitting in the big chair. "This is going to be the happiest illness of my life," Blythe whispered to Pip from his hospital bed. "While Thorne is busy drowning in paperwork and angry admirals, I'll be sipping broth and watching his career go up in smoke." Back at the office, Thorne was indeed drowning, but not in the way Blythe expected. He had appointed Pip as his acting executive officer. "Pip, we have a situation," Thorne said, leaning back with his feet on the desk. "The supply list says we found the garter belts, but the Petty Officers Club is still flooded. Also, I just got word that the Seabees are building a mess hall in the middle of the rifle range. Should I tell them to stop, Skipper?" Pip asked, adjusting his oversized cap. "No, tell them to keep their heads down," Thorne replied. "And give me the phone. I have a feeling the Admiral isn't our only guest today." The archipelago was home to more than just soldiers. The local royalty, the Emir of Alzar, was also navigating the political waters. And the Emir had daughters, 3 of them, who, according to the latest intelligence, were currently very bored. "Thorne," Pip shouted, running in. "The radar. Something's tracking toward us." It's a civilian craft, but it's escorted by British destroyers. The Emir, Thorne whispered. And if he finds out we've been using his private cove to chill our beer, we're in trouble. Chapter 3. The Hula Fiasco. Admiral Sterling arrived with the subtle impact of a tidal wave. He was a man who looked like he had been carved out of granite and then polished with sandpaper. "Where is Blythe?" Sterling barked, his boots clicking on the wooden slats of the pier. "Incapacitated, sir," Thorne said, offering a salute that was technically legal but morally questionable. "Tropical gout. Very sudden. I'm Thorne, acting commander." "Thorne," Sterling narrowed his eyes. "I've heard of you. You're the one who turned the Wasp 7-3 into a floating casino." "A mobile morale-boosting unit, sir," Thorne corrected. "Well, let's see the base. And it better be shipshape, or I'll have your commission for breakfast." The inspection was a disaster in slow motion. As they walked toward the air raid shelter, a strange sound began to drift through the air, the rhythmic thumping of drums and the clinking of grass skirts. "What is that noise, Thorne?" Sterling demanded. Thorne froze. He knew exactly what it was. His crew, led by the ever-opportunistic petty officer Gruber, had decided to throw a welcome party for the Emir's daughters to distract them from the missing beer. "It's a cultural exchange, sir," Thorne lied. "Local traditions." They rounded the corner to the air raid shelter. Inside, 3 princesses were performing a dance that looked less like a traditional hula and more like a group of people trying to shake spiders out of their clothes. Sterling's face turned a shade of purple, usually reserved for expensive wine. "Thorne, are those sailors?" "Sir, the actual princesses were delayed," Pip chimed in helpfully. "These are understudies." Just then, Commodore Blythe appeared, having miraculously recovered the moment he heard the Admiral had reached the munitions area. He was wearing a bathrobe over his uniform. "Admiral!" Blythe cried. You see the madness. Thorne has turned the munitions locker into a burlesque house. There are sailors in drag. There is an alligator in the laundry. This man is a menace." "An alligator?" Sterling asked, his voice dangerously low. "His name is Gnasher, sir," Pip said. "He's the mascot. He's very friendly if you have a peanut butter sandwich." Chapter 4. The Court-Martial of Percival Pringle. The aftermath was swift. Admiral Sterling, disgusted by the hula understudies, demanded a fitness board hearing for Pip Pringle. Blythe was ecstatic. "We played, potat, won my." Blythe was ecstatic. "We played that." He saw this as the perfect way to get rid of Thorne's right-hand man, and eventually Thorne himself. "I'm gonna break you down to a seaman second class so fast your head will spin." Blythe cackled at Pip. The hearing was set for the following morning. Thorne knew he needed a miracle, or, failing that, a very large tank of nitrous oxide. "Listen up, boys," Thorne whispered to his crew. "In the hull of the Wasp 7-3, Blythe is allergic to goldenrod, and he's sensitive to his environment. We're going to improve the air quality of his office during the hearing." The crew, a collection of mechanics who could fix a torpedo with a piece of chewing gum, rigged a tank of laughing gas to the ventilation system of the Commodore's office. The hearing began with grim solemnity. Admiral Sterling sat at the head of the table. Blythe stood to the side, clutching a file of Pip's many failures. "Ensign Pringle," Sterling began, "you are charged with gross incompetence, including the torpedoing of a friendly garbage scow. It was camouflaged with potato peels." "Sir," Pip cried, "I thought it was a stealth sub." Thorne gave the signal. Outside the window, Gruber turned the valve on the tank. A thin, invisible mist began to drift through the vents. Blythe, who had been about to deliver a scathing testimony, suddenly paused. He snorted, then he giggled, and then, Blythe said, his voice rising in pitch, and then he tried to launch a depth charge while we were still at the dock. He nearly blew us to the moon. To the moon, Alice. Blythe began to howl with laughter. He leaned over and slapped the Admiral on the back. "You should have seen it, Sterling." He looked like a panicked squirrel in a tuxedo. Sterling, usually a man of stone, found himself twitching. A chuckle escaped his lips. A squirrel, you say? A tiny, fuzzy squirrel. Blythe shrieked, tears streaming down his face. He grabbed a vase of goldenrod and began to dance around the room. I love this boy. He's a riot. Pip, you're not an ensign, you're a genius. I'm promoting you to admiral. Admiral Pip. The room dissolved into hysteria. The guards were doubled over. The court reporter was laughing so hard she was typing gibberish. Case dismissed. Sterling roared through fits of giggles. I haven't had this much fun since the great armistice. Thorne smiled. The gas was working better than expected. But, as the gas cleared, the reality of the promotion and the paperwork would surely bring the Commodore back to Earth with a crash. Chapter 5, Gnasher and the Missing Millions. Just as things seemed to be settling into a manageable level of chaos, a new crisis emerged. The base payroll, $62,000 in small, unmarked bills, had arrived in a canvas bag. Pip, being the only one available, was tasked with transporting it from the airstrip to the safe. Don't lose it, Pip, Thorne warned. That's the men's beer money for the next 3 months. I've got it, Skipper. Safe as houses. 10 minutes later, Pip stumbled into the office, his uniform torn and his face pale. It's gone. The payroll. A girl in a blue dress. She tripped me, and then Gnasher appeared. The alligator? Thorne asked. He took the bag. Skipper. He thought it was a giant peanut butter sandwich. He ran into the swamp with $62,000 in his mouth. Blythe, who had finally recovered from the laughing gas and was in a particularly foul mood after realizing he had hugged Thorne during the hysteria, pounced. Grand larceny, Blythe shouted. You've stolen the payroll and blamed the reptile. This is the end, Thorne. I'm calling a court-martial. And this time, there will be no goldenrod and no gas. The trial was held in the middle of the base square. Blythe had assembled a pile of evidence, which mostly consisted of Pip's empty holster and a muddy footprint. I intend to prove, Blythe announced to the jury of weary sailors, that this alligator is a fiction. A fairy tale designed to cover up the most brazen heist in naval history. I object, Pip shouted. Gnasher isn't a fiction. He's a witness, and he has rights. Rights? Blythe scoffed. He's a swamp-dwelling prehistoric remnant. He's a retrieval specialist, Thorne countered. Suddenly, a rustling was heard from the bushes. Out waddled Gnasher. He looked particularly smug, and sticking out of the side of his mouth was a soggy canvas corner. There he is, Pip screamed. Gnasher. Give it up, boy. Give up the loot, the alligator hissed. He wasn't giving up his sandwich without a fight. Pip, in a moment of desperate bravery, reached into his pocket and pulled out a jar of extra crunchy peanut butter. Come on, Gnasher. Trade you. The alligator's eyes widened. He dropped the canvas bag, dripping with swamp water and alligator droppings, and lunged for the peanut butter. Thorne snatched up the bag and dumped the contents onto the table. There it was. $62,000, slightly chewed, but definitely present. Well, Commodore, Thorne said, wiping a smudge of swamp mud off a $100 bill. It seems the fiction just returned the evidence, along with your wallet, which I believe he also found in the mud. Blythe looked down. There, among the payroll bills, was his own leather wallet, which he had accidentally dropped while trying to trap Thorne earlier that morning. My wallet, Blythe gasped. And look, Thorne pointed to the bills inside. They're marked, just like the ones you said the thieves would take. It seems you were the one trapping the payroll, sir. Admiral Sterling, who had stayed behind to oversee the fallout, stepped forward. Binghamton. Blythe. Are you telling me you planted a trap for your own officers, using the base payroll? Blythe turned a ghostly shade of white. It was a strategic exercise, sir. To test their vigilance, it was a frame-up. Sterling growled. Thorne, take this man back to the infirmary, and this time, make sure the door is locked from the outside. Pringle, you're back to Ensign, and for heaven's sake, Get that alligator a uniform. He's the most honest officer on this base. Chapter 6. The Ghost of Wasp. 7-3. As the weeks passed, Blythe became obsessed with the idea that the Wasp 7-3 was jinxed. He had discovered an old record suggesting the boat was originally commissioned as the 13, a vessel with a history of spontaneous explosions and disappearing crews. "It's a Jonah," Blythe whispered to anyone who would listen. "Thorn is sailing a haunted ship." Thorn, hearing of this, decided to lean into the superstition. If Blythe thought the boat was haunted, they would give him a ghost story he'd never forget. One Friday the 13th, under a full moon, the crew of the Wasp 7-3 rigged the boat with pulleys, white sheets, and a series of eerie whistles. Using a stolen projector, they cast ghostly images of lost sailors onto the mist rising from the lagoon. Blythe, watching from his balcony through binoculars, saw the Wasp 7-3 begin to move without a crew. The engines groaned with a supernatural howl, actually Pip playing a trombone into a megaphone. "They're back," Blythe screamed, falling out of his chair. The ghosts of the 13, Thorn and his men, covered in glowing phosphorus paint, drifted through the air around Blythe's office windows. "Commodore, take them, take everything," Blythe sobbed, throwing a folder of transfer papers out the window. "Just leave my soul alone." The next morning, the ghosts were gone, and Thorn had the papers he needed to ensure his crew stayed together at Tortuga's Rest. Blythe was found shivering under his desk, clutching a crucifix and a bottle of holy water he'd bought from a local trader. Epilogue. The azure sunset. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the azure archipelago in shades of gold and fire, Captain Silas Thorn sat on the deck of the Wasp 7-3. Beside him, Pip was sharing a peanut butter sandwich with Gnasher. The Commodore was currently in a restorative trance in the hospital, and the Admiral had sailed away, convinced that Tortuga's Rest was the most confusing, yet strangely effective outpost in the Navy. "You know, Skipper," Pip said, looking out at the calm water, "life here isn't so bad. Even with the garter belt shortages. It's a living, Pip." Thorn smiled, lighting a cigar. "Just another day in paradise." From the shore, a distant scream echoed. It was Blythe, having just discovered that his holy water was actually Thorn's pineapple rum. Thorn just chuckled and closed his eyes. The war might be raging out there, but at Tortuga's Rest, the comedy was just beginning. The Chronicles of Aurelia Prime, a comedy of maritime eros. Prologue. The Compression Mesh Crisis. Director Barnaby Grudge was a man whose blood pressure could be measured by the literal steam rising from his ears. He sat in his ivory tower office, overlooking the crystal blue lagoons of Aurelia Prime, a private maritime security outpost that was supposed to be the jewel of the Pacific. Instead, it was a constant migraine. "Wow," Grudge muttered, staring at a supply manifest. "Wow, wow, wow. Tactical compression mesh. Pringle. Specialist Percy Pips Pringle, a man whose relationship with gravity was purely adversarial, tripped over the doorstep and performed a perfect somersault into the director's mahogany desk. "Yes, sir. Reporting for duty, sir." "I assume the somersault was within regulation?" Pringle squeaked, adjusting his crooked glasses. "You are the supply officer here, Pringle. If the tactical medical nurses need high-tension compression mesh for their uniforms commonly known to the layperson as garter belts, then you snap to it. Shake a leg, or whatever is left of your coordination." Grudge slammed a hand on his desk. "What a war. Everything is on my shoulders. Sinks are backing up in the junior officers' lounge. The local indigenous population is complaining about the noise from the jet skis. And now this." "Sir, there's more," Pringle whispered, looking like he wanted to hide in his own collar. "I just got an encrypted burst from High Command. High Commissioner Ironsides Irons is arriving today for a sneak inspection." Grudge's face turned a shade of purple, usually reserved for bruised eggplants. "Ironsides? Irons? The man who court-martialed his own shadow for not standing at attention. If he sees the state of this base, he'll have my head mounted on a pike in the lobby." Grudge clutched his stomach. "My acid levels could dissolve a titanium hull." "Pips, get me my pills." "No, wait. I have a better idea. A brilliant, devious, career-saving idea. Chapter 1. The Volcanic Fever Ploy. If I am sick, Grudge mused, a sinister glint in his eye, I cannot be held responsible for the chaos. I can appoint an acting director. Someone to take the fall. Someone so incompetent, so unruly, that when Irons arrives, he'll spend all his time screaming at them instead of looking at my expense reports. Not Commander Maverick Sterling, sir? Pringle gasped. Precisely Sterling, Grudge shouted. With Sterling and his gang of sea gypsies in charge of Aurelia Prime, they'll run wild. They'll probably burn the mess hall down before the commissioner's boat touches the pier. It's perfect. I'll be in the infirmary, clinging to life, while Sterling destroys his own career. Grudge suddenly collapsed onto his sofa, moaning dramatically. Oh, the pain! The volcanic fever. It's taking me. Call the medics. Call Sterling. Tell him the torch has been passed to his incompetent hands. Commander Maverick Mav Sterling arrived 10 minutes later, looking entirely too relaxed for a man in uniform. His Hawaiian-patterned undershirt was visible beneath his tactical vest, and he was carrying a half-eaten pineapple. Heard you were checking out early, Barnaby, Mav said, leaning against the doorframe. Need me to water your plants while you're in the great beyond? Sterling, you, boob, Grudge wheezed from under a cold compress. I am appointing you acting director of Aurelia Prime. And Pringle here, he's your acting executive officer. Me? An executive officer? I wouldn't think of asking you to take this on without help. Grudge smirked internally. Now, go, take command. The sinks are clogged, the payroll is late, and the nurses are still waiting for their compression mesh. Mav sighed, tossing his pineapple core into the trash. All right, Pips. Let's go play director. How hard can it be? Chapter 2. Archduke Valerius and the Three Rebels. Life as acting director was, in Mav's words, a total drag. Within 3 hours, he had been called about 3 separate plumbing emergencies, a missing shipment of garter belts, and a radar contact that turned out to be a very large, very confused albatross. Director, Pringle shouted, running into the office. Good news, we found the compression mesh. Archduke Valerius of Neo-Siam is being forced to make an emergency landing here. His private hover yacht had engine trouble. The Archduke? Mav groaned. The guy who travels with his 3 daughters and a personal food taster? This is exactly what Grudge wanted. The Archduke's arrival was a spectacle of gold leaf and incense. He stepped off his craft, looking like a man who had never seen a budget in his life. Behind him stood 3 young women in silk robes, looking utterly bored. I am Valerius, the Archduke announced. And these are my treasures. Siri, Tara, and Mia. Are these men to be trusted with my cargo? Absolutely, Your Highness, Mav said, bowing slightly. We are the U.S. Maritime Security, or something close to it. Welcome to our humble volcanic rock. Wowie, wow, wow, whispered one of Sterling's crewmen, a man known only as Gully, as he stared at the princesses. I heard that, the Archduke thundered. The next man who dares to debase the dignity of my daughters will answer to my ceremonial scimitar. No debasing, sir, just bowing. Pringle squeaked, nearly tripping over his own sword. To distract the Archduke, Mav offered him a tour of the base's high-speed interceptor boats. The Archduke was fascinated. I should like to drive this sea stinger myself. Sure, why not? Mav shrugged. It's only a multi-million-dollar piece of hardware. Pips, show him the steering wheel. Just try not to hit the pier. While the Archduke was busy trying to find sport mode on a tactical vessel, Mav realized he had a problem. Director Grudge, miraculously recovering in the infirmary, had sent a Nurse Wilson to check on Mav's health, which Mav knew was code for spy on him, and catch him in a compromising position. Listen, girlie, Mav told the nurse. I know what Barnaby is up to. You tell him that if he wants me clobbered by High Commissioner Irons, he's going to have to do better than a nurse in a swimsuit. Chapter 3. The Laughing Gas Galaxy. The stress of the Archduke's visit, combined with the news that High Commissioner Irons was only minutes away, sent the crew into a panic. "We need to get Grudge back in a good mood," Gully suggested. "How do we make a man like Grudge happy?" Marv asked. "The only thing he likes is seeing other people suffer." "Laughing gas," Pringle whispered. "Nitrous oxide from the dental clinic. If we pipe it into the ventilation system of his office, he'll be so hysterical he'll promote us all to admiral." The plan was set. A tank of high-potency laughing gas was hooked up to the director's office window. "Okay, boys," Marv whispered into his radio. "Give him a blast." Inside the office, Director Grudge was meeting with the terrifying High Commissioner Irons. Irons was a man who looked like he had been carved out of granite and then frozen. "So, Director Grudge," Irons barked, "I hear there are reports of hula girls in the air raid shelters and unauthorized parties on the beach." Suddenly, Grudge began to giggle. "Hula girls?" Grudge snickered. "Oh, Ironsides, you're such a hoot. They aren't hula girls. They're cultural exchange specialists." Irons blinked. "Director, are you quite well?" "I'm Chucky Wucky," Grudge shrieked, falling off his chair in a fit of laughter. "And look, here comes Pip Squeakums, my favorite little specialist." Pringle entered, wearing a gas mask disguised as a floral arrangement. "Director, Commissioner, I've come to report a successful fire drill." "A fire drill?" Irons stood up, looking suspiciously at the vent. "Why is everyone in this room giggling like schoolgirls?" "It's the atmosphere of Aurelia Prime, sir," Marv shouted from outside the window, frantically pumping more gas. "It's very rejuvenating." The scene devolved into madness. Grudge began to dance on his desk, calling the commissioner a big, grumpy teddy bear, while the crew outside tried to hide the Archduke's daughters in a laundry shack to keep them away from Irons' prying eyes. "This is not a maritime base," Irons roared, though even he was starting to feel a bit lightheaded. "This is a madhouse, Director Grudge. I am ordering a full mental evaluation of this entire command." Chapter 4. Chompy, the Cyber Gator, and the Missing Millions. The laughing gas incident resulted in a temporary stay of execution for Marv's crew, mostly because Irons was too confused to fill out the paperwork. But a new disaster was brewing. The base payroll $62,000 in unmarked bills had arrived in a canvas bag. Marv had entrusted Pringle to pick it up from the airstrip. "I had it, Marv. I swear," Pringle cried. "I tripped. The bag flew into the swamp. And then it happened." "What happened?" "Pips. Sydney. I mean, Chompy. He took it." Chompy was the base's unofficial mascot, a 7-foot-long alligator that the tech boys had enhanced with a Neuralink collar. Chompy was supposed to be a guard-gator, but he mostly just liked peanut butter sandwiches. "You're telling me an alligator ate the payroll?" Marv asked, rubbing his temples. "Not ate. Stole," Pringle insisted. He had the bag in his mouth. And then he found Director Grudge's lost wallet too. Director Grudge, who had finally sobered up from the gas, was ecstatic. "Theft of a government payroll. This is it. I'll have Sterling and Pringle in the brig for life. Unless they can produce this alligator in court." The Maritime Tribunal was held the next day. Grudge sat as the judge, looking smug. "Benson Pringle, you are charged with grand larceny. Where is the money?" "Your Honor," Pringle said, standing tall. The double doors of the courtroom swung open. Marv and Gully hauled in a massive, hissing alligator on a reinforced trolley. Chompy had a tactical canvas bag, firmly clamped in his jaws. "Get that monster out of here," Grudge screamed, leaping onto his chair. "Not until he testifies," Marv shouted. "Look, Your Honor. The bag. It's the payroll. And look what else he's got." Marv shouted. Marv shouted. Marv shouted. Marv reached into the gator's mouth, very carefully, and pulled out a leather wallet, Director Grudge's ID card. "It seems Chompy found your lost wallet in the swamp, where you were trying to hide the evidence of your own embezzlement." I object, Grudge yelled. You can't take the word of a reptile. He's biased. The gator doesn't lie, Barnaby. Mav smirked. The courtroom erupted into chaos as Chompy decided he was bored and lunged for a plate of sandwiches on the court reporter's desk. High Commissioner Irons, watching from the back, sighed deeply. I'm going to need a very large glass of scotch and a transfer to the Arctic. Chapter 5. The Great Cannon Finale at Port Royal. The final showdown took place at the luxury port of Port Royal, where the crew had chased a group of smugglers who had actually been the ones to knock Pringle out and throw the payroll into the swamp in the first place. There they are. Pringle pointed to a small boat fleeing the harbor. They've got the rest of the cash. We can't catch them with the Sea Stinger. The engines are shot. Mav cursed. Wait. Pringle looked at an ancient, ceremonial brass cannon sitting on the pier. It's a 19th century smoothbore. We can use it. Pips, that thing hasn't been fired in 100 years. It'll explode. Not if I use the tactical compression mesh as a wad. Pringle grabbed a bundle of the nurse's garter belts and stuffed them into the barrel. Ready, aim, fire. The cannon roared with a sound like a collapsing mountain. Instead of a cannonball, it launched a concentrated mass of silk, rubber, and $20,000 worth of loose bills that had been stuffed inside the smuggler's stolen bag. The garter belt money bomb hit the smuggler's boat with the force of a wet mattress. The silk wrapped around their propeller, and a cloud of cash blinded the driver, sending the boat crashing into a soft sandbank. High Commissioner Irons and Director Grudge arrived in a jeep just as the dust settled. They looked at the smugglers, who were currently being hogtied with high-tension compression mesh by a triumphant Pringle. Director Grudge, Irons said, his voice cold. Explain to me why there is government currency falling from the sky like confetti. It's a new stimulus program, sir. Grudge squeaked. Mav walked over, dusting off his hands. Actually, Commissioner, it's just another day on Aurelia Prime. We recovered the payroll, caught the smugglers, and found a new use for those garter belts. Irons looked at the chaotic scene, the alligator eating a smuggler's shoe, the Archduke's daughters cheering from the pier, and Mav Sterling looking entirely too smug. Sterling, Irons said, you're a menace. You're a pirate. You're a disgrace to the uniform. Thank you, sir, Mav grinned. But, Irons continued, you're the only man on this island who seems to get anything done. Director Grudge, pack your bags. You're being transferred to a weather station in the Aleutian Islands. Commander Sterling, you're the new, permanent director of Aurelia Prime. Oh, no. Mav groaned, his grin vanishing. Does that mean I have to fix the sinks? Yes, Pringle beamed, putting an arm around Mav. And we still need to order more compression. Mesh. Wowie. Wow. Wow. Mav. We're in charge. Mav looked out at the beautiful, chaotic island and sighed. Well, Pips, at least we've still got the alligator. And in the distance, Chompy let out a satisfied belch, having finally found the peanut butter. The end. The Chronicles of Azure Enclave. Thorns, Troubadours. A novel of incompetence, alien reptiles, and galactic payrolls. Chapter 1. The Acid-Washed Director. The morning sun of Xanthos. 4 rose with a peculiar shade of neon pink, casting a glow over the Azure Enclave. A research station that was supposed to be the pinnacle of Terran innovation, but functioned more like a high-stakes frat house. Director Sterling Vane sat in his plush, levitating chair, clutching his midsection as if his intestines were trying to stage a coup. Beside him stood Junior Officer Pip Barnaby, a man whose primary skill was standing in the wrong place at the exactly right time for a disaster to occur. Wow, Vane whispered, his voice trembling like a leaf in a warp drive vent. Wow, wow, wow. Plasma retention straps, Pip. I am the director of this entire sector, and I am discussing underwear for the research nurses. Actually, sir, Pip chirped, adjusting his oversized visor, they prefer the term magnetic hosiery, and they really do need them to keep their boots on in the low-gravity lab. If they need hosiery, we must snap to it. Shake a leg, sir. Oh, well, you know what I mean, Vane groaned. What a war. Everything rests on my shoulders. And now this? My stomach acid could power a small scout ship Pip. I can feel it bubbling. It's an uprising. Iscaro. Just then, the comms unit on Vane's desk shrieked. A gravelly voice erupted from the speakers. Director Vane, this is High Command. Next time, sir, be advised. Grand Overseer, Iron Jawad Kael, is arriving today for a surprise inspection. Vane's face turned a shade of pale that matched the station's sterile corridors. Kael? The man who demoted his own mother for having a dusty mantelpiece? We're doomed. Look at this place, Pip. The sinks in the officers' lounge are backing up with green slime, the cargo bay is full of illegal moonshine, and Captain Jack Thorne is probably throwing a beach party as we speak. Pip nodded solemnly. He is, sir. Vane's eyes darted around. I can't face him. I'll have a stroke. Wait. Pip, if I were sick, legitimately, medically incapacitated, I could appoint an acting station director. Someone to take the brunt of Kael's wrath. Someone who will inevitably fail so spectacularly that Kael will forget I even exist. Pip's eyes widened. Not me, sir. I have a delicate constitution. Not you, you ninny. Vane sneered, a wicked grin forming. Captain Jack Thorne. If I put that cutthroat and his band of pirates in charge, they'll run wild. They'll destroy the station's reputation right in front of the Grand Overseer. It's brilliant. Pip called the medbot. I'm having a very convincing episode. Chapter 2. The Commander by Accident. Captain Jack Thorne was currently trying to teach a six-legged native crab how to play poker when the summons arrived. 10 minutes later, he was standing in the infirmary, looking down at a failing Director Vane. Oh, Jax. Vane wheezed, clutching a pillow. I'm in bad shape. The doctors, they don't know. It might be space flu. It might be hypermumps. I need you to take over. You're the acting director of Azure Enclave. Jax Thorne leaned back, his thumbs tucked into his belt. Me? Behind a desk? Come on, Sterling. I'm a star hopper. I'm a star hopper. I belong in the cockpit of the Vagabond 9. Not filing reports on hosiery. I wouldn't ask you to do it alone, Vane insisted, winking at Pip. I'm appointing Pip here as your acting executive officer. He's helpful, Pip saluted, nearly poking his own eye out. Ready for duty, Captain. Or Director, or whatever we are. Go to my office, Jax, Vane commanded, suddenly regaining a bit of strength. That's an order. Out, out, out. As Thorne and Pip left, Vane cackled. This is going to be the happiest illness of my life. Back at the command center, the chaos began immediately. The comms were lit up like a supernova. Director Thorne. The sinks are overflowing. Director Thorne. The nurses are demanding their magnetic garter belts. Director Thorne. The supply shuttle just crashed into the canteen. Jack Thorne rubbed his temples. Pip, get those nurses their garter belts. And tell the maintenance crew to use the heavy-duty vacuums on the sinks. And someone tell the canteen to serve whatever survived the crash as deconstructed space tacos. Suddenly, the radar technician shouted, Director! Unidentified craft entering the atmosphere. It's Grand Overseer Kael's dreadnought. Jack Thorne looked at the screen. Iron Jawad Kael. Right. Pip, we need a distraction. Tell the boys to throw the biggest welcome shindig this planet has ever seen. Music, food, and, wait, do we have any of those hula droids left? Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Scam. While Jax was busy managing the Overseer's arrival, a secondary crisis appeared. The interstellar monarch, King Kaltazar, of the Marami Nebula, was forced to make an emergency landing. He arrived with his 3 daughters, the princesses of Marami, and enough luggage to sink a moon. I am Kaltazar, the king boomed, his golden robes shimmering. I travel with my most valuable cargo. If your men dare to debase the dignity of my daughters, they shall answer to my plasma axe. Pip, trying to be helpful, bowed so low, he fell over. Wowie, wow, wow, wow. Your Highness, we are honored. Did he just say wowie at my daughters? The king growled. Jack Stone stepped in. Forgive him, king. That's a ceremonial greeting in our sector. It means, your wisdom shines like a binary star. The king seemed appeased. Very well. I wish to see your station, and I wish to steer your starship, the Vagabond 9. While Jax was entertaining the king, Director Vane, who was watching via hidden cameras from the hospital, was fuming. They aren't failing, Pip. They're having a party. Kael is going to think this is a paradise instead of a disaster. Vane decided to sabotage. He knew Kael hated unprofessionalism. He sent a message to one of the nurses, Lieutenant Nurse Willow, telling her to take Jax Thorne for a swim in the bioluminescent lagoon, knowing Kael would arrive at that exact moment. But Jax was one step ahead. He sensed the trap. Willow, get out of that swimsuit. The Grand Overseer is here. Kael marched into the command center, his face looking like it was carved out of granite. Thorne, why is there a king steering your ship, and why do I hear music coming from the air raid shelter? That's cultural exchange, sir. Jax lied smoothly. Vane, unable to contain himself, burst out of the hospital in his pajamas. He's lying, Kyle. There are hula droids in the air raid shelter. There are women in the closets. Look. Vane threw open a closet door, only to find Pip Barnaby hiding with a stack of garter belts. Binghamton, Vane, Kale barked. Are you in your pajamas? Are you talking about hula droids? You're delirious. Back to the hospital. Thorne, I'm continuing my inspection. Chapter 4. The Jinx of the Vagabond. 9. Vane was now desperate. He decided to use the jinxed ship gambit. He forged a document claiming that Thorne's ship, the Vagabond 9, was actually the Death Stalker 13, a ship cursed to explode every time it reached warp speed. Jax, Vane said, now recovered and back in uniform. I have terrible news. Your ship is a Jonah, a jinx. Every crew that has ever sailed her has vanished into the void. You must transfer immediately to the conflict zone at the edge of the galaxy. Jax's crew was terrified. Skip! We're on a ghost ship. I heard the engines whispering my name last night, Pip cried. Jax Thorne looked at the official report. He saw the smudge where Vane had used a digital eraser. All right, boys. If Sterling wants a ghost ship, let's give him one. That night, they rigged the Vagabond 9 with holographic projectors and fog machines. They snuck into Vane's quarters, wearing glowing suits. Wally, Sterling. Jax's voice echoed through the vents, distorted and eerie. We are the ghosts of the death. Stalker 1-3. We've come for your soul and your paperwork. Vane screamed, diving under his bed. Take it. Take the transfer papers. Just leave me alone. The next morning, Vane was found shivering in a seaman's uniform, claiming he had seen the great space spirit. Kyle, arriving for the final sign-off, shook his head. Vane, you're a disgrace. I'm promoting Thorne to sector commander for his bravery in dealing with a clearly insane superior officer. Chapter 5. Sid the Croc and the Missing Credits. The final disaster struck when the Enclave's payroll 62,000 galactic credits in a lead-lined briefcase went missing. Pip had been carrying it when he was distracted by a xenocroc named Sid, a local reptile the size of a hover car that Pip had secretly befriended with peanut butter sandwiches. Sid stole the money. Skip, Pip wailed. He thought the briefcase was a giant cracker. Vane was ecstatic. Larceny, grand larceny. Thorne, your executive officer, has stolen the payroll. Court-martial. Everyone to the brig. Jax Thorne had to act fast. They found Sid lounging in a swamp, the briefcase firmly wedged in his massive, toothy maw. Open up, Chid, Jax pleaded. Come on, buddy. If you don't give that back, Pip is going to spend the rest of his life in a lunar prison. They dragged the giant reptile into the middle of the court-martial hearing. Director Vane, Grand Overseer Kael, Jax announced. I present a key witness for the defense, Sid the Xenocroc. The courtroom